This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. Oops, wrong button, everybody, but hey! Probably woke everybody up. Awesome. Hey, look at that. There's Eugenie. Here, I gotta get something fixed here. Hold on a second. Not sure why it wasn't working, but I'll turn down the audio so it doesn't hurt people's ears. Hold on. You can probably still hear me talking, but not the sound that this thing might make. Where is it? Testing, testing, testing. Yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah, that works. Hey, thanks, Kit Kat. And as you can see at the top of the screen, I'm making it so we did this we did a live stream today for 2 hours and 2.5 hours on the Dyatlov, and it lets you see what we're at here. So I've got the goal there, and then there's this thing that you can do. You can be the super freak. It's something I could have done a long time ago, but I just, want to see how it goes. But if you get like, the way it works is you get like 2,500 points once you take over. And right now there's only 266 points left, because for every $1 that somebody donates, it's 125 points off of mine. Then as soon as you're the person that takes over, like Scouting Dude right there, they're going to be the super freak. That is, unless you do it too quick like Cindy did earlier. Yeah, you almost got it there. You almost got it. So anyways, that's something that goes over on the side over there. But over on the left, it shows you what the goal is. All right? That way, it's like I don't have to say, hey, everybody. You can actually just see. It lowers my stress level, I've decided. So there you go. Look at that. Scouting Dude is now the super freak. I'm going to turn off the background chat there. It's sort of meaningless at this point. Can't really read it anyways. So there you go. Scouting Dude is at the top. Now you guys have to try to take him out. Now he can actually throw some more in there to keep himself up there. That's how it works. But anyways, something just sort of fun to do on the side while we go through these cases. All right. Let me just try to fix this one thing, though. I'm not sure why. Yeah, it's not connecting to the. Let me just try opening up Stream Decks here. Maybe that has something to do with it. Yeah, I can't use any of the audios that I normally have. So let me try opening this up one more time. Sorry. Thank you, Lisa Murphy. Yeah, we were doing it on the Jody Arias stream today. It was pretty funny. I felt bad for Cindy. She was timing it. She was just going to wait for the last second. And she put like $2 in because there was only 40 points left or something, but she did it so fast that after the last person, that the program didn't even know that she did it. It just skipped right over. So I got a couple updates. I got one update to do, and that's on that. Remember the murder in Okmulgee? That thing it's crazy. Those cops over there are ridiculous. All right, let's see. Maybe this is working now. No, wow, that's going nuts. You hear that? I don't echo right now, right? Yeah, this thing is causing me issues tonight. Hold on. Yeah. Hear that? God, that's crazy. Testing. Yeah. Oh well, we'll have to fix that later. Guess it's not working. I sound normal right now, and you can hear the music, right? No, the other one, Hamilton Blue Star. Yeah. Anyways, you guys can see the goal at the top of the screen, and you've got the Super Freak Stream Boss section up there. All right. And the goal there is the normal goal that I have every night to get to the notebook. So if you get to the end of that, then I give out a notebook. That's how it's the same number every night. I haven't. You guys couldn't see it. All right. So let's take a look at the in Okmulgee. Remember the idiot I think his name is Jesse McFadden. He was a sex offender and he killed his wife, his 3 children, and then 2 random friends of one of the children. So I guess it ended up being 7 people altogether, including himself. Yeah, so in this it says, hold on. In this one it says, an attorney representing the family of one of the teens killed in the murder-suicide in Henryetta has made a shocking revelations. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigations confirmed last week that convicted rapist Jesse McFadden shot dead his wife, Holly Guess, 35, and her children, Riley Elizabeth Allen, 17, Michael James Mayo, 15, and Tiffany Dorr Guess, who's 13, before turning the gun on himself. McFadden also killed Ivy Webster, 14, and Brittany Brewer, 15, who were at the home visiting Tiffany for the weekend. Following the gruesome discoveries, this is in theindependent.co.uk. Following the gruesome discoveries on the 1st of May at McFadden's property, reports emerged that he was facing fresh soliciting and child porn charges after he was caught exchanging lewd images with 16-year-old in 2016 while serving time in jail. I mean, we already knew all this stuff. Over the weekend, dive teams with OSBI were spotted using sonar devices at one of the ponds neighboring the scene. Down here is the part that was interesting. Cameron Spradling, an attorney representing the Webster family, has now divulged that 32 different cell phones and individuals used McFadden's House of Horrors as their location address. The findings have been handed over to OSBI. So what in the hell is that, man? See, I think this guy was part of like a child pornography ring or something. The mishandling of McFadden's sex crimes and confusion regarding leadership in the murder-suicide investigation. You know what's weird? Remember those press conferences we watched with the sheriff or whatever that came out? He seemed like he really had it handled, right? Like he was talking in a way where he was just like, "Oh yeah, this." We got it all figured out, but we're not going to be able to answer any questions because it's an ongoing investigation. Those guys were clowns. I've never seen anything worse in my life in terms of an investigation. I mean, Absolute embarrassing clowns. Hey, thanks, Scouting Dude. Yeah, so now Scouting Dude, well, he just built himself back up to full power, which is 2,500. And then now, ooh, so let's see. Scouting Dude gets his in first. Then Paul Ayers will just jump in there, almost cutting it in half. Yeah, these guys are absolute clowns, though. Let's see. In a statement to the Oklahoman after the deviant finding at McFadden's residence, Mr. Spaulding said the family of the Ivy Websters were shocked to discover that computer and cell phones had not been seized. I'll play this piece here in a minute. Thank you, Scouting Dude.
Ocean wave, ocean wave, ocean wave.
I can't really read it because it's so small, but let's see. Yeah, he's back at 2,500. So I wonder if, I don't know if hers got in there quick enough. It was so fast after his. There's got to be like a cooldown period. But anyways, thank you guys. Appreciate it. It's not just mismanaged. It's absolute, complete incompetent. Like this guy right here, he made it sound like he was all over this shit. He wasn't all over anything. These guys were an absolute joke here. They didn't do a damn thing. As soon as they go, oh, they're all dead. What do we do now? Okay, forget it. They didn't even, like, why not check the goddamn, I mean, I'm sorry to cuss, but why don't you check the computers, for God's sakes? And all of the electronics in there forensically to see if there's something going on. So apparently now the state's taking over. I mean, that's how embarrassing for these guys. I mean, these guys were just like, guys, nothing happens here. We're just going to drink beer, maybe go to work sometimes. Oh my God, a murder! Ah, shit, man. I don't want to interfere with my beer night. You know, unreal. Look at that, Kathy Chapin took over. Oh, Kathy Chapin, the K. You took it over there, Kathy Chapin. You are now the stream boss, which is a super freak. Okay. A neighbor of McFadden also told KJRH last week that 6 months ago they saw somebody digging the pond where police excavation team was seen this past weekend. When confronted, the individual reportedly said they meant to expand the pond despite there being no apparent reason to do so. They meant to expand. I don't get it. The family of the victims also found a ledger at the crime scene. Listen to this shit, man. A family at the crime scene also found a ledger at the crime scene with lists of unknown names and ages. The last final names being those of the 6 victims shot by McFadden last week before he turned the gun on. Did he go kill all these other people then? I mean, what's going on here? This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Thank you. Let's see. Cappuccino Michelle. I'm not even sure I said it right that time. Hey, Bama. Alright, let's see. McFadden. Okay, McFadden, who was at the state sex offender registry, was initially sentenced to 20 years in prison for rape in 2003, right? I don't know why he was let out. What in the hell's going on here? You know, I gotta say, it actually makes the incredible lack of investigation and their what do you call it? Just not giving a damn makes you wonder about stuff. I mean, it really does. It's almost at a level where it almost seems completely ludicrous. So then it opens the door for your mind to go, wow, do these guys have some other connection somehow? I mean, it's totally conspiratorial, but Just watch this. Just let me play this thing. I don't think I've ever seen anything dumber than this.
I'm angry. This should have never happened.
A father's search for answers leading him.
Yes, this is, hold on a second.
Olivas with us the entire time.
Yeah.
She joins.
So this is KFOR, I believe.
Into a house of horrors. Nobody.
And tonight we are following blockbuster developments in that ghastly murder-suicide that shocked the state and nation, leaving 7 people dead, including 5 children.
Brittany Brewer, Ivy Webster, Tiffany Guess, Michael Mayo, and Riley Allen, all between the ages of 13 and 17, along with Holly Guess, each shot to death.
Investigators have confirmed convicted sex offender Jesse McFadden killed those 6 victims, then himself. Earlier this week, law enforcement released the home where the murders occurred, giving him back to the property owner.
Yeah, so remember how when the property owner got it and then they let the family walk around in there?
And as of Tuesday afternoon, there was no longer an active investigation at this location.
In an effort to
Right, so Tuesday afternoon, nothing to see here, everybody. We're moving on.
figure out what led up to this horrific murder-suicide, the families of the victims have launched their own search for answers.
The parents of teenager Ivy Webster wanted to go through the crime scene, hoping they could find something that would explain what happened. Once the crime tape was removed from the home and the scene released by law enforcement, the family went inside.
They left yesterday devastated by what they found. News 4's Kaylee Olivas with us the entire time. She joins us with an exclusive.
Well, Adria, Kevin, we first want to warn you the images you're about to see from inside the home are disturbing. It was hard to watch Ivy's family as they discovered what they believe is crucial evidence that was left behind by law enforcement. In a matter of minutes, they found their own daughter's cell phone tucked away in a cabinet, and that was just the beginning. Now they're wondering whether...
Yeah, when you hear the conversation that this guy had with one of the sheriff people that came out there, it's just going to make you, it makes you wonder, it's just...
Law enforcement dropped the ball.
They didn't just drop the ball, they were incompetent.
We can't have parents go through OEF. I'm angry. This should have never happened.
His daughter Ivy was only 14 years old when Jesse McFadden murdered her. Okmulgee police say Ivy died from a gunshot wound to the head. Her family has 0 answers, couldn't say goodbye, and has no closure. So now they're looking for it.
I feel that my daughter, even right now, is standing behind me, telling me,
This guy, he's just destroyed.
Dad, keep going.
And not only that, like, he's destroyed, but the people, on this great story here by KFOR, they don't even really give a damn. I mean, the police department. And again, I go back. Remember when that sheriff, we'd watch him in interviews? I was thinking, man, this guy's he runs a tight ship. Remember how he wouldn't say anything? He was like, yeah, no, we're not going to answer anything. This is an ongoing investigation. After they were all dead anyways, right? So for me, it's just, they didn't give a shit. That's why he didn't have anything to say. I mean, that's kind of the answer, right? I mean,
Keep doing this. Phone or phone case.
Thursday afternoon, News 4 was invited by Webster and his family to take a closer look at where his daughter took her last breath. Behind these walls, the family found sex and bondage devices. In one of the bedrooms were restraints bolted into the bed frame. There was also a shelf filled with books about witchcraft. 10 feet away in the kitchen, another restraint with chains and locks still attached. Although there were reportedly 4 bodies found in this home, we didn't see any bloodstains, no blood splatters. In the back room, the most shocking find...
Yeah, what's up with that? They find all the bodies in there. They all been shot, but there's no blood, and it's blood spatter, not splatter. But yeah, there was none anywhere around in the house.
Of it all, crucial items that had not been collected.
That's them. Babe, that's them. Okay, that's is that hers? Yep. Okay. Hold on.
Call the sheriff. Yep. Don't touch him. Don't move him.
Ivy Webster's cell phone was tucked away in a laundry room cabinet, along with 2 other cell phones and 2 laptops. In the
Yeah, I
same
guess they were in the
room,
house.
Syringes, what appears to be drug
Four of them,
residue,
anyway.
and various items the family believes was used to torture their daughter before she was murdered. None of it collected by law enforcement until this family
No,
called.
so it could be that they were shot somewhere else and then placed there. Something else is going on in this story than just somebody. You know, this isn't one of the Occam's razor ones. Something else is going on. It feels like, anyway.
Called the Okmulgee County Sheriff's Office and asked them to come back to the home and retrieve these items.
There you go.
Pictures
So look, here's this guy from the sheriff's department coming out to take pictures. He's like, there it is, there it is, there you go.
were snapped and the items finally collected, but not without a brief explanation as to why it hadn't been done before.
I want more done.
The problem is, we don't know what else to do. Like,
There's a story to be told here.
right.
We don't know what
Yeah, of course
happened.
there's a place there, Jordan.
I'm gonna say
And since we don't have the only person that can tell us what happened,
Is dead, but we can try to piece it together.
And I'm gonna say
Well, I mean, it's almost hard to believe. Let me go, this guy.
Hadn't been done before.
I want more done.
the problem is, we don't know what else to do.
Well, how about you investigate what the hell happened, you idiot?
Like,
There's a story to be told here.
Right. I mean, what that guy's saying is exactly right. There's a story to be told here. We need to know what happened.
right.
We don't know what happened.
don't know what
exactly.
else to do. I'm gonna say
And
this.
since we don't have the only person that can tell us what happened,
Is
Right, and that's why you investigate, you idiot.
dead, but we can try to piece it together.
And I'm gonna say this was not done right. No crime scene tape.
we are open to any suggestions you all can
I'm saying
We're open to any suggestions you have because we don't know what the hell we're doing. I mean, we are stupid as a box of rocks. So what we're doing is, hey, listen, if you got any suggestions, you go ahead and let us know, okay?
this, they didn't do their job, and the whole world's gonna know it.
Now look at this part here. He goes, they didn't do their job, and the whole world's going to know it. Now look, watch his response here.
But what would this accomplish?
Well, it would show that you're an idiot, okay? Look at this guy here. Wow. I mean, this is just unreal. What would that accomplish if you told on us? You know? Well, first of all, it would make sure that this never happens again by idiots like yourself, and
I'm a grieving parent that my daughter got raped and murdered, and you're telling me right now that I don't have a right to know what happened? The story's right here. It's right.
this guy is so right here. This guy is righteous. I mean, he knows what he's saying this whole time is exactly right. The story is right here. It's in the computers. It's in the cell phones. It's somewhere. It's right here, you guys.
Here. And it's still sitting here. Still.
Disgusted with the investigation into his daughter's murder, he only saw more
I hope there isn't a soul that's defending anything about this investigation. I'm a pro-law enforcement person, but this is an absolute embarrassment to mankind.
collected evidence on his walkout. Another phone in the top drawer of a nightstand, several computer towers,
Look at
and
all
a
this stuff.
check made out to a local storage company still.
By the way, what in the hell's in that storage unit? You lock storage. What is in that storage unit, man? I think they need to get a warrant and get the hell into that storage unit, like, today.
Sitting in plain sight.
I'm upset.
No,
Healing,
WNC Grant. I'm going to
trying
move
to
on
heal.
right after this.
Still confused.
There's nothing different in that.
Still a lot of answers that need to be given.
We've spent the day trying to find out why the cell phones, why the laptops, and why the other evidence was left behind. We were told by a sheriff's investigator in
right, I'll
Okmulgee
open
County
it
that they
up.
were only responsible for searching the property, not the house. He said the house was the sole responsibility of the OSBI, but the OSBI confirms its investigators were only providing assistance to the Okmulgee Police Department. Today, neither the Okmulgee Police Department nor the Sheriff's Office nor the DA's office would comment on our story.
No, I bet, man. Every one of those people should, like, either lose their job or, yeah. I mean, that's really the only answer, to be honest with you. That is so hideous. All right. So those other ones I had, and then WNC Granny sent this one. Let's see what this one says. Oh, what's he say?
There's 7 bodies in Oklahoma. Authorities found the bodies while friends with McFadden's stepchildren, and apparently they've hung out for years. But what Ivy's dad did.
Wait, what are we at up there? Oh, look at that, you guys. Only 100. This is your time. Cindy, this is your time right here. You can do it. Where are you, Cindy?
Not know until now is that McFadden is a convicted sex offender.
If he was locked up for the 28 years like he was supposed to, he would never have done this. The people that released him need to be held accountable.
All right, so what we know right now is that
Okay. So, police who investigated the Oklahoma property where his sex offender gunned down his wife and 5 teens before killing himself last week failed to find bloody clothing last week. So they failed to find bloody clothing, bones, and other horrifying things at the scene. Wow, so bloody clothing and bones. The gruesome findings littered the Henryetta property after convicted rapist Jesse McFadden, 39, killed his wife, Holly Guest, 35, her 3 children, and 2 teenage friends. Before turning the gun on himself at the Henryetta property, Guest... There you go, look at that. It's Cindy J is now the super freak boss up there. All right. Nothing can prepare anyone for what we had to find, a tearful Wyatt said. Wyatt said she and other traumatized relatives came across bloody children's clothes, a mysterious ledger, binders of disturbing pictures, oh my God, and other objects that police missed during their own search. We found bones. We found other things. The other family members came to police came. We found a lot of horrifying things, she alleged. Wyatt said she also found Velcro restraints in the house, but a police officer told her to throw them away because the house was no longer an active crime scene. What? Said, okay, also found, Wyatt said she also found Velcro restraints in the house, but a police officer said, yeah, just go ahead and throw those away. Doesn't it make you suspicious about them? How can something be so incompetent and be unintentional? It makes you wonder. I mean, it's stupid. I mean, it's totally conspiratorial because it doesn't seem very likely, but wow. I mean, really? You're just... Yeah, go ahead and throw all that stuff in the garbage, okay? Yeah, because we're done here. We don't really care what happened or how it happened or if anybody else is involved somewhere. We don't really give 2 shits about anything. Yeah, we just want to get the hell out of here. Wow, hey, good night, everybody. Yeah. Footage from inside McFadden's home shows the restraints attached to the wall behind what looks like a mattress on the floor. See, look at this. This is what I was telling you about the other day. Look at this thing. So that's why you know the one in the kitchen is part of whatever this is, too. It isn't some dog chain. I mean, who does that anyways, right? I do, Gray. I had this one dog at one time and we had a... Okay, well, good for you. All right, the bloody clothes, she explained, were put into garbage bags for investigators. I'm not a crime scene investigator. I'm not a police officer. I should not have had to see those things. I'm not sleeping. I'm not eating, she said. Yeah, so it's so weird that they freed it up to allow family to go walking around, and they found all kinds of stuff. Police believe that McFadden, who was set to be tried last week for soliciting child pornography, killed Guess, her children, and 2 other teens who were visiting the family with multiple gunshots to the head and staged an elaborate crime scene before taking his own life. Yeah, so I'm staged an elaborate crime scene. That's interesting. So it's almost like I think he moved the bodies back into the house, the ones when they said, hey, there's no blood spatter. Well, yeah, because he probably put them there. That's what I was saying earlier. So, wow, staged an elaborate crime scene. So are they saying even the... Yeah, I'm not sure what that to make of that. The bodies of Guess McFadden and Guess's son Michael, 15, and daughter Tiffany, 13, were all discovered together. The remains of Guess's daughter Riley, 17, and friends Brittany Brewer, 16, and Ivy Webster, 14, were found about a quarter of a mile away. So I think the rest of them were in the house. Let's see. Were all discovered together. I think they were in the house. McFadden and Guess's son Michael. So his whole family, except one of them, I think was found in the house. And then, Guess's daughter Riley, Brittany Brewer, and Ivy Webster, 14, were found a quarter of a mile away. Probably that's where the location at the water was, right? By that creek. There are questions that will never get answered because the only people that know are no longer here. Okmulgee Police Chief Joe Prentice said of the harrowing incident. In 2017, McFadden was accused of using a contraband cell phone to sext an underage girl. Yep. Let me go up to that one. There was a link here. What's this one? Okmulgee sex offender Justin McFadden.
Welcome back. 9:43 right now. So we're learning more about the discovery of 7 bodies in Oklahoma. Authorities found the bodies while searching for 2 missing teenage girls, Ivy Webster and Brittany Brewer. Authorities went looking for those teens at the home of a man named Jesse McFadden. Ivy Webster's dad saying his daughter and her friend Brittany were 2 of the 7 people shot to death. He says the girls were spending the night at McFadden's. Now, the girls were friends with McFadden's stepchildren, and apparently they've hung out for years, but what Ivy's dad did not know until now is that McFadden is a convicted sex offender.
If he was locked up for the 28 years like he was supposed to, he would never have done this.
Right, and they let him out even knowing that he used somebody's cell phone and was contacting a girl. I don't really get it. The convicted Oklahoma rapist who killed 6 people, including 2 missing teen girls this weekend, appeared to have staged the grisly scene before taking his own life. Okmulgee Police Chief Joe Prentice said he noticed that something was off while surveying the Henryetta property where sex offender Jesse McFadden and 6 others were found, without going into a lot of detail. Oh, how about this? Go into detail. You guys gave up on the case. Go into detail now. Without going into a lot of detail, that scene appeared to be staged to me, and that is my opinion based on what I observed, Prentice said at a Wednesday press conference. I think the bodies had been moved from where they were originally killed. The body of McFadden, who was set to be tried on Monday for soliciting child pornography, was discovered alongside that of his wife, Holly Guess, 35, and her children, Michael Mayo, 15, and Tiffany Guess, 13. Police found the remains of Guess's daughter, Riley Allen, 17, and Brittany Brewer, 16, and Ivy Webster about a quarter mile away. Prentice confirmed that McFadden, 39, is believed to have shot all 6 victims multiple times before shooting himself in the head with a 9mm. You know what I think? I think he drugged them all, too. And while they were unconscious, he shot them all. I think it'd be really difficult to have 6 people that are awake and you're trying to shoot somebody would try to run and get away. But you see these syringes around, and who knows what was going on with that. So, anyways, that's the update on that. Absolutely crazy, right? So now we're going to get on to the main... I got to get to the right place here. Yeah, to Chelsea Johnson, that was going to be the main case that we're going to talk about. Might take the rest of the time to put it all together on there. What I found interesting is when I started looking into it, it's so close to where Caitlin Markham, that case that was just, there was an arrest just made. I mean, look at this. Remember that? I mean, Caitlin Markham there, John Carter, and then the one friend that lived over here, and then Chelsea was found right over here. But they say they're not related, but I just thought it was interesting. I mean, literally a couple 100 yards away. Yeah, well, I mean, well, they didn't even seem to look for it. Bama forever. I don't know what they were doing. I think there's something not quite right in this story. Doesn't make any sense. Well, I mean, that's what makes you think of that, Beauty for Ashes, that maybe the police are involved somehow. But anyways, I'm going to switch over to this this next case now, okay? I mean, I'm not going to just keep speculating for 6 hours on that. I think right now you got the state police that are taking over, or maybe it was maybe I think it was OBI, like Ohio Bureau of Investigation or something. So they'll come in and get things worked out, and then all the shit will hit the fan at some point in the future. All right. So you guys do you guys like being able to see the goal at the top of the screen there? And somebody's got to take Cindy out of there, though. She's already been on there too long. It's damaging the show. Just yeah. Let's see. I guess they want you to stay there forever, Cindy. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Let me get my music playing. If I don't get that, people complain. Thanks, Robin. Let's see. How much is that going to do? So yours should cut into that like quite a bit, almost half. You know, this look at this crime scene area right here. Doesn't that remind you of that place that I went to with the 360-degree camera? Almost looks identical.
I'll beat you back if you want me to.
Yeah, one more of those and Cindy's out of there. Anyways, thanks, Robin. Appreciate it. All right, here we go. Police seek clues in slaying of girl 15. Dressed for a warm spring day, 15-year-old Chelsea Johnson. This is in Fairfield, Ohio. Chelsea Johnson left home late Sunday morning in black shorts, a red tie-dye shirt, and black flip-flops. Monday evening, Chelsea, who those close to her said was always smiling, was found stabbed to death and left in a wooded area near a creek bed less than 2 miles from her Fairfield home. Thanks, Scout and Dude. Police are searching for clues that may shed light on what happened in the teen's final hours. Who stabbed her? This is the second homicide in Fairfield in the past 4 weeks, and just the second since 2009. Fairfield Police Chief Mike Dickey declined to comment on details, noting the homicide investigation is ongoing, but he said it is not connected to last summer's disappearance of 22-year-old college student. It's definitely not related to Caitlin Markham, Dickey said. Markham was last seen at her Dorshire Drive townhouse in Fairfield on August 13th. Dickey said Tuesday night that there is also no indication other children are in danger from the perpetrator. The act was directed towards Chelsea, Dickey said. Dickey said detectives need help from anyone who saw the Fairfield Options Academy freshman who weighed about 100 pounds and had long brown hair. We are trying to track her movements to develop a timeline for her last hours, he said. As police continue to look for clues in the slaying, Chelsea's family and friends try to cope with the trauma of her death. Her body was found about 6 p.m. Monday near a creek adjacent to the Heritage Glen apartment complex on Brookfield Drive, a Pleasant Avenue, according to Fairfield Police. Chelsea lived in Southgate Boulevard. Let's see. Wow, this got a whole timeline and everything here. Thanks, Scouting Dude, and any leader here down D. In a 911 call, an unidentified man screams and cries for help. "Oh my God," the man said, "I have a body in the creek. A little girl's body in the creek." So let me show you where this is. So she was seen at this house, or apartment, I guess, right here. It looks sort of like a house, but she was seen here. That's what this article says. Right in like this building. Then after that, she just sort of disappeared, and then she was found, and you can see it right there. I mean, look at that's this creek that we're looking at, and here's Brookfield Drive, the apartment complex. I mean, I got to grab that and move it into the creek, but yeah, she was found in the creek somewhere around there. I don't know exactly where in the creek. Oh man, Scouting Dude came in and snuck that one out of there. Hey, and then Kathy Chapin, thank you very much. WNC Granny. And thanks WNC Granny for sending me some of those links there. I had the one from Independent UK, but was just going to go straight into this. But it got so outrageous, that last story, that I had to go and do it. That was ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, let's go back to the page before, and you can just see exactly what we're looking at here. Page 1. Ooh, I think Shelly Pink might take over. There it is. Ooh. Oh, you're just short.
Chewbacca? I'll do Chewbacca.
So look at that picture right there. See that? And you can just see it. It's right there. Look. Right down in there. Oh, I didn't do the... I had a pizza, or some pizza, not just a... Who eats one piece of pizza? I mean, when you get fresh pizza, you eat the whole damn thing, right? Okay. So right here, Fairfield Police Lieutenant Kevin Haddock said he couldn't release information related to evidence recovered from the scene or possible suspects. Hold on, my wife's calling. All right, there we go. Yeah, where's Danielle? Where's your little pizza slice? You know, eat pizza. You know, your little emojis. You're really slacking here. Oh, look at that. Cami Nielsen reading fee, and she's gonna, I think. Oh, there you are. You are now the super freak. Super freak. Yeah. The autopsy performed Tuesday by the Butler County Coroner's Office ruled that the teen had been stabbed. The girl's mother, Vicky L. Feibel. Oh yeah, no problem. Well, somebody sent me this, and I looked at it and I go, wow, that's pretty interesting. So, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. I'm not sure what's going to happen with you guys being so clumped up like that. So you got Cami Nielsen and WNC Granny. I'm not sure how that's going to... And then what happens? Does this work? Yeah, see, yours was so close to WNC Granny, it got knocked out. that happened to Cindy earlier, too. That's funny.
Thank you for covering the cold cases, Mr. Gray. You are freaking awesome.
Well, thank you. You're freaking awesome yourself. Yeah, so you're... that one was so close to the one before, it didn't register. It happened to Cindy earlier. So, anyways, let's see. Fairfield Police Lieutenant Kevin Haddock said he couldn't release information related to the evidence recovered from the scene. Haddock said Tuesday there were attempts by police patrols in the area to locate the missing girl, but it wasn't until police received a call at 6 p.m. Monday that they were led to the body. An autopsy performed Tuesday by the Butler County Coroner's Office ruled that the teen had been stabbed. The girl's mother, Vicki L. Feibel, 38, reported her daughter missing at around 9 a.m. Monday after she didn't return home after leaving late Sunday morning, police said. According to the report, Chelsea left her apartment in the 5300 block of Southgate Boulevard, I think that's that first one, about noon. Before talking to the police, Feibel went to her daughter's school, trying to find out if classmates had heard from her daughter or knew where she could be, said Fairfield Options Academy Principal Bob Poulsen. Students attempted to call or text message her, and both staff and students were concerned because Chelsea wasn't the type of girl who would run away or not keep in touch, the principal said. Thank you, Robin. Feibel said she last saw her daughter around 11:30 a.m. Sunday when she returned home from work to make her daughter grilled cheese sandwich. I had one of those yesterday. Feibel said she also has an 11-year-old son, Brian, and the family has lived in Fairfield for 2 years after moving from Ross Township. Feibel said she moved her family from Ross to get away from drug crimes and SWAT raids. I thought I was moving into a safer neighborhood. Fairfield is not what they say it is, Feibel said. I hope somebody comes forward. So here's like the timeline. Chelsea, 15, is last seen by her mother, Vicki. That's at lunch with the grilled cheese sandwich. Then Monday at 9 a.m., Chelsea's mother reports her missing. Then at 6 p.m., Chelsea's body is found along a creek near Brookfield Drive, adjacent to the Heritage Glen apartment complex. But on Tuesday, Butler County Coroner's Office rules that Chelsea's Johnson's death was a homicide and she'd been stabbed. Then on May 5th, Alexis Van Loan, age 15. Oh wait, so this is, well, this article is April 18th, so how do you know anything about, oh, this is a year before. Oh wait, these are just different homicides. Never mind, I was like, Jesus. Okay, Fairfield City Councilman Mike Oller, a former Fairfield police officer, said he is concerned about what appears to be more frequent crimes in the city, but does not fault the police department. You can't solve every crime, you just can't, Oller said. I'm not concerned about the work done on it. Chelsea's mother described her daughter as someone who was always trying to make people laugh. She was my best friend and would always write me notes telling me she loves me. Grief counselors were available at Options Academy on Tuesday. It's been a horrible day, Poulsen said, having had to deliver grim news to the close-knit group of 90 students. With kids, you have to be up front, tell them the truth, and let's see, and then go from there, he said. No vigils have been planned as of Tuesday. The Heritage Glen apartment complex where Chelsea was found has been under construction and no one is living in the buildings. Construction crews were working in the area Tuesday and few signs were visible of police investigation. One building in that complex was severely damaged in a fire and had been left standing as an empty shell. The complex, under new ownership, is undergoing a $2.5 million renovation project. Hey, thanks, Travelin' Teresa.
Late hey freaks.
The site where Chelsea was found is less than a quarter of a mile from where Markham was last seen. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's right there. Damien Terrell Taylor was found dead March 15th, and I think they just kind of go through these other people. Let's see. Chelsea's been enrolled in Fairfield City School since 2010. She transferred to alternative school in January. Chelsea had not been at Options long, but she definitely made an impression. Like Chelsea, Granastage had been at Options only a short while. She had been a teacher So there must be another individual over here. Let's see. She found the smaller class sizes and individual attention suited her better. Oh, so she's a teacher. Okay. Chelsea was very kind and sensitive to others. She was all about following the rules. English was maybe not her favorite subject, the English teacher said with a smile. Chelsea was trying to figure out what her career goals were. She just had a gentle approach and was always smiling. She was extremely polite and very courteous. She will be greatly missed. Olson said the 90 students are divided into 2 sessions of about 40 to 45 students. So it sounds like she was in a better school for herself. But hey, Adniram, I heard you caught all the fish, and Scouting Dude was just kind of catching turtles and shit. Just kidding. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, moving on to the next day here. There's some interesting stuff that comes up in these. I know, we already hit the goal. You guys are amazing. I don't know what, thank you. Some nights are bad though, so if you go over the goal, it makes up for some of those other ones. Well, I was going to have the goal. I mean, that's what the cutoff is for doing a notebook. So I figured that's what I would set it at. All right. Anyways, thank you. So, stab girl seen with neighbor, witness says. Police continue to search for a suspect in the killing of 15-year-old Chelsea Johnson. New details emerged Wednesday in the stabbing death. Johnson's body was found Monday evening about a mile from her apartment in a wooded area near Heritage Glen apartment complex. She was fully clothed, so that's interesting, wearing a red tie-dye shirt and black shorts, minus her black flip-flops. No purse was found. A cell phone was in the vicinity, but Fairfield Police Chief Mike Dickey said they do not know who the phone belongs to. Well, thanks, Bama Forever. Jeez. You guys are so kind. It's crazy. This one, I think this time you'll get up on the screen there. The cool part is if you spread it out, you can stay up on this. Look at that. Oh, there you go. Bama Forever is now the super free.
Helping the slower nights.
Yeah, so no purse was found. A cell phone was in the vicinity. But Fairfield Police Chief Mike Dickey said they do not know who the phone belongs to. So people just, throw phones down there? I don't get it. Okay, that's B2. There it is. A neighbor was one of the last people to see Johnson alive when she left her apartment at 11:30 a.m. Sunday on a trip to the store. Dickey said the neighbor and others have been interviewed. Moi Saul, a manager at the Ameristop on Niles Road. There, let's see where that is. Hold on. So it's called Ameristop. That's not the one. They said it was on Niles Road, right? That's River Road. Wait, she was down here though. Oh, there it is, Niles Road. So maybe it was one right here, maybe. Ameristop on Niles Road near Johnson's residence had stopped in the store at about 12:30. So, yeah, so this is Niles Road here. I wonder if Ameristop was... I mean, what do they look like? What's an Ameristop? See, look, there's a whole bunch over here. Tons of them. So it's just kind of like a, like a gas station-ish? So let's see if we can find what it... Yeah, see, they all have these roofs on it like that. So that means if we go over here... Yeah, actually, let's go back in time to 2008. Alright, here we go. That's 2008. Let's get one that's clear. So it's going to be over, it would be over here if it was anywhere. Let's see what that is. I don't think it's a casino, is it? It's a Ameristop. I didn't say star. You got casino on your mind, Cindy. Oh, I bet you that was it right there. I bet you anything that's it. Yeah, oh, there it is. There's the roof we were looking for. Yeah, it's just right down the road. So, boom, 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 and then that's the Ameristop. Guarantee it. They just probably sold it to somebody else, and now it's something else. So, that was where she was seen at, so let's see, that was 12:30 p.m. And here it was 11:30 a.m. Okay. So he was at her apartment at 11:30 a.m. Sunday on a trip to the store. Dickie said the neighbor and others have been interviewed. Moi Saul, manager of the Ameristop on Nilles Road. So it was Nilles, not Niles. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Road near Johnson's residence, said Johnson had stopped in the store at about 12:30 p.m. Sunday, the last day she was seen. Saul said she was with her neighbor, whom he had seen before, although he could not identify the man. The neighbor bought a prepaid phone card, and then he and Johnson left, heading west on Nilles Road. Saul said he relayed this information to police. So they were heading west on. So after that, he was heading. They were, so that's consistent with. Maybe coming over here, because I think you would probably come down a road and then you could turn there. Let's see, can you do that? I doubt it. Yeah, there's a fence there, so that's not gonna... Oh, it looks like you just go a little bit further, take a right. This way, it doesn't really... I guess you could take a left there and come down and drive over like that, so... You could go either way. And it's right in the middle where this is. So, I mean, who knows? They could have gone somewhere totally different, and her body was just basically dumped down there, for lack of a better term. The Butler County Coroner's Office determined Johnson was stabbed to death, but are awaiting lab tests to determine the presence of drugs or alcohol in her body. Coroner's investigator Andy Willis said there are no visible signs that Johnson was sexually assaulted. Detectives are also working to determine where Johnson was killed. We don't know if it was there or somewhere else, Dickie said. He declined to disclose how many times she was stabbed or if a weapon was found. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be doing, after the show tonight, I'm going to be doing this next round of shipping off the notebooks. So if anybody wants to buy one of the blue notebooks with his paw print on there and everything, you send $25 into PayPal and you get the notebook, a pen, and a stress ball. It's a Freak Hearts stress ball. And I think people that got them like them, right? I mean, don't let me ask you something. Don't everybody that got the blue notebooks like them? No, Gray, I hated them. I wouldn't answer. Yeah. You sent me your address, right? And if you were supposed to win one, there's been ones that people have won, but they never sent me their addresses, and I don't keep track of that part of it. It's up to you to realize that you won. Yeah, you like that one? It's pretty good, right? And next one will be Chloe. What do you mean you never got yours? Did you send me your address? Here, let me shift screens for a second. Yeah, I don't have your address or anything. Or well, send me an email with your address. Let me check to see, because there's been times where something got sent out and it's just sort of in this weird limbo place, like the one I sent to Zozo that one time. So send me your information, Mel's Diner, and I'll be able to tell you if I ever sent it out, because on pirate shipping it stores all the places. Oh yeah, executive sessions. They will be in our city history forever. Really? That's pretty sweet. Okay, thanks, Mel's Diner. Yeah, and if you're somebody else that ordered one and you didn't get it, let me know. Sometimes it's just you get the deluge of emails, and they, I try to do my best. You're the best! Huh? What do you mean it's at Lori's trial? What are you talking about? Okay, let's get back to this. I changed screen. Oh, look at Chloe back. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. She just poked him in the back to get him going. Yeah, normally I ship fast, but I don't like it when I only have like 2 or 3. I'd rather do like 8 of them at the same time. And I've got 6 right now, so if anybody else wants one, I'll do them tonight after the show and send them out tomorrow, and you'll get them probably 2 days later. Oh, they do? They like them? Sweet. But what do you mean it's at the trial, Cindy? I don't know what you mean. Who's there with the notebook? It doesn't even make sense, though. Man, you guys' humor is just... Oh, man. She might not have got it, Cindy. She's just laughing at it meaning nothing. The Notebook? Remember the joke, The Notebook, The Wedding? What do you mean, Notebook, The Wedding? What are you referring to right now? Remember the joke, The Notebook, The Wedding? Man, no, I don't. What are you referring to right now? Oh, was that the one? Oh, yeah, that one. Okay. Oh my God. So the Notebook went to the Hawaii wedding, and then it goes to the trial. That's the joke. Man, that takes a lot of extra thinking when you have COVID brain, okay? Yeah, I get the joke now. Wow, that is a lot of brain cells used up on that one. Good Gray, he should have got that joke right away. I'll be back. The Notebook's at the trial. It doesn't even make sense, you guys. Do you understand? Okay, grandparents say they are no longer whole after death. Phil Johnson said parents are supposed to bury their children. We say that all the time. If that's true, he said, then it's unthinkable that grandparents would outlive their grandchildren. But that's exactly what happened when Chelsea Johnson, 15, of Fairfield, one of Johnson's 6 grandchildren, was stabbed to death last week by an unknown killer still on the loose. Johnson said he and his wife, Donna, are no longer whole after their granddaughter's death. Her body was found on April 16th, about a mile from her apartment in a wooded area next to a creek close to Brookfield. The Butler County Coroner's Office determined she was stabbed to death, but is waiting lab tests to determine the presence of drugs or alcohol in her body. Coroner's investigator Andy Willis said there were no visible signs that she was sexually assaulted, but further testing is needed. A visitation and funeral for Johnson, the second homicide in Fairfield in the last month, was held Monday morning at Fairfield West Baptist Church. She was buried in a purple casket, her favorite color, and many of the funeral wore purple shirts and blouses. Robert Polson, principal at Fairfield Options Academy, said he knew her for only 3 months, but in that time and after talking to her friends, he found her to be very pleasant and a friendly girl who was determined to succeed in the classroom. So there you go. All right, hold on one second. My wife came home, and then we'll get going on this. Okay. That was the third one, and there's a whole bunch. I got like just a ton of articles here, so I'm gonna get through them all. So here we go. Police zero in on slaying details. This is April 26th. More than a week after the stabbing death of a Fairfield teenager, police are keeping quiet about details of the homicide investigation, but are closing in on a better understanding of Chelsea Johnson's last hours. Monday marked a week since the body of 15-year-old was found stabbed to death in a wooded area near to a creek close to Brookfield Drive near Heritage Glen Apartment. Johnson went to the Ameristop about noon on April 15th. A clerk at the Millis Road store said she was with a neighbor identified by authorities as Tim Childs, Johnson's mother's boyfriend. Oh, that's interesting. Johnson's mother's boyfriend. Okay, so Johnson's mother's boyfriend. Really? Well, I mean, doesn't he have more clarity? Okay, let's see what it says. The two left the store on foot. Okay, so this will be the explanation. On foot, after Childs bought a phone card, according to investigators. So he bought a phone card. Those are just things that you prepaid and you dial in the number and a code or something, right? The teen, dressed in black shorts, a red tie top, and black sandals, was seen alive later in the day in the downtown area, said Fairfield Police Mike Dickey. But what about, like, what happened right then? Did the boyfriend part ways with her, or what? Like, what happened? It is not true that Childs and the store clerk were the last to see Johnson. It is not true that Childs and the store clerk were the last to see Johnson alive, Dickey said. But he declined to say when witnesses saw her on April 15th and if she was alone. So that would have been, what, Sunday later in the day? Johnson's body was discovered by Childs and his son at about 6 p.m. on April 16th. What? So Childs is the guy that found her body in the creek? Just randomly at that apartment complex? The same guy that was with her to buy the phone card? You know, that just sounds a little weird. You know, I mean, what are the odds of that? Johnson's body was discovered by Childs. So Tim Childs, the mother's boyfriend, was seen with her, and then he's the one that found her later in a creek with his son. Man, I mean, it could just be totally coincidental. It's just one of those weird, odd things, though, right? Dickey said investigators at the Butler County Coroner's Office have a time frame of the killing, but he declined to release details. Investigators said Johnson was stabbed, but have not released how many times. Dickey said detectives also are working to determine if the teen was killed where he was found. A cell phone was found in the vicinity of Johnson's body, but Dickey could not say who owned the phone. She was fully clothed except for her sandals. The coroner is waiting for lab tests to find out if she used drugs or alcohol. Coroner's investigator Andy Willis said there are no visible signs Johnson was sexually assaulted, but rather testing is needed. This was Fairfield's second homicide in recent weeks. Yeah, so all these links are in the description, by the way. So this is, what is this one? The Journal News, but they're almost all of them are from the same place, but they're in the description of the video. So when I do my shows, I generally put all the links in there so you can go check them out. You love a new Super Freakometer? All right, well you're plugging away at Bama Forever, who's got 2,200 points remaining. That's a little weird. So now it starts getting even more interesting here. Now, police have met with the Butler County Prosecutor's Office to discuss the death of 15-year-old Chelsea Johnson, but have yet to name a suspect. Fairfield Police Chief Michael Dickey confirmed Tuesday. Asked if he had a suspect in the case, Dickey said, "I'm not going to go that far. We're trying to gather enough evidence to convict." Well, convict who, though? What I'm saying is that we believe it was someone in her close circle. Well, there you go. I mean that sort of seems like they're pointing at the boyfriend right there, right? Johnson's body was discovered. I mean, that's what it seems like, just based on the last article we read. Johnson's body was discovered April 16th near a creek by Heritage Glen Apartments between River Road and Pleasant Avenue. The Butler County Coroner's Office determined that the Fairfield Option Academy student had been stabbed. However, police have insisted that Johnson's death had no connection to the case of Caitlin Markham, a woman who was last seen in the area in 2011. And they do not believe that Chelsea's killer would look for other victims. I don't believe that Chelsea's killer would look for other victims. Oh yeah, I see. Well, I'm not sure what that even... Well, I don't understand that writing. And they do not believe that Chelsea's killer would look for other victims. I don't know. We do not believe parents have to take any more precautions than they ordinarily do, Dickey said, maintaining that Johnson likely knew her killer. Johnson was seen at a Maristop near her residence at about noon on April 15th, the day before she was found dead, police said. Police said Johnson was last seen April 15th in the downtown area. But what time was that? Her mother, Vicky Feibel, reported Johnson missing the next morning, and her body was discovered that evening. Dickey said 2 detectives have been working on the case. And then I'm throwing in a Daily Mail article that just popped up during that same time. This is from 2012, June 8th. So, a man being named as a person of interest in the brutal stabbing of a teenager gave her heroin in exchange for sex the day before she was murdered. So that was the day before her and her, let's see, let me go get the other guy's name. I think it's in this one. Yeah, Tim Childs. Gotta remember that. So the day she was with Tim Childs, it was the day before that a man being named as a person of interest in the brutal stabbing of a teenager gave her heroin in exchange for sex the day before she was murdered. George Donald Davis, 24, from Laughlin, Ohio, allegedly gave Chelsea Johnson, 15, the drugs the day before she disappeared on April 15th. Her body was then dumped in a creek, so it was dumped, about 1 mile from her home. And here's that guy. Though Davis has not been charged with her murder, he faces charges of importuning and trafficking in drugs and is being held at the Butler County Jail in lieu of $250,000 bail. Fairfield Police Lieutenant Kevin Haddix confirmed to Cincinnati.com that Davis is an acquaintance of Chelsea's family, but wouldn't say how he knew them. No one has been charged in the homicide yet. Chelsea Johnson from Fairfield, Ohio, was last seen leaving her home that morning to go to a local store. Yep. Her body was found on Monday evening around 6 p.m. by a passerby who made a frantic call. Well, a minute ago they just said it was the boyfriend that found her. So maybe that was an error in that article. Her mother, Vicky Feibel, told police Chelsea left to go to the shop at 11:30 a.m. and did make it there, as CCTV showed. Gruesome discovery: Chelsea's body found in the creek about a mile away from her home the night after she disappeared by a frantic passerby. So that sounds different than the boyfriend, right? I don't know how you get so divergent of, writing there. It's crazy. Not even close to the same. When she got home at 5 p.m., she called her daughter's phone multiple times, but got no answer. That's when she knew something was wrong and started searching for her daughter. So that's the mother. She looks really young, too. Vicky Feibel had been appealing to the public for help in finding her daughter's murderer, as no one has been charged. Lieutenant Haddix said of the charge against Davis, "Obviously, we are interested in any information he can provide to us during our homicide investigation. That said, there are other people who had contact with Chelsea Johnson, and we are also interested in any information they can provide. If you want to classify these people as persons of interest, you may, but George Davis isn't in a group of many. Davis has been arrested in the past for illegally possessing a handgun, disorderly conduct, criminal damaging, and misdemeanor assault, according to court records. So there you go. That was the Daily Mail. Yeah, so it's weird. This Tim Childs here. It says Dickey said investigators at yeah, Johnson's body was discovered by Childs and his son. It says it right there. I mean, that's so specific too, right? Oh, look at that. Kelly Snyder stepping up to take over the super freak position. Oh yeah. There we go. And there she is at the top of the screen. The new super freak Kelly Snyder. Well, you are one. Look at that happy smile on that face. That's good. All right. Yeah, and then they say, yeah, right, exactly, Traveling Teresa. No, but they had said like a frantic passerby in the first articles that weren't on Daily Mail. Then this one article talks about, oh yeah, it's the boyfriend and his son found their body, and then now we're back to the frantic passerby. So I'm not sure in this case. I mean, Daily Mail's saying what the first articles were saying. But man, doesn't that sound really specific? Ohio man detained for offering girl drugs in exchange for sex. Now this is in the newspaper, not Daily Mail. A man has been jailed on charges alleging he offered heroin to a 15-year-old Ohio girl in exchange for sex on the day she went missing. So now it's on the day she went missing. She was found stabbed to death the next day. The Journal News of Hamilton reported Fairfield police said 24-year-old George Donald Davis II communicated by text messages with Chelsea Johnson on April 15th. Police said Davis initially offered her prescription drugs, then heroin, for sex. Police declined to discuss what happened afterwards. Davis was in Butler County Jail on Friday under a $250,000 bond. I mean, that guy seems pretty suspicious too, right? Hey, thanks everybody for the support on here. Really appreciate it. Charges increased in heroin for sex case. Charges were increased against a Laughlin man accused of giving Chelsea Johnson heroin in exchange for sex the day before the 15-year-old was found. Now, the last article said the day of. See, a lot of sort of important information being reported that is counter to itself in these articles. Well, thank you, Bama Forever. Davis II, 24, now faces an additional charge of compelling prostitution after a grand jury considered the case. Police say Davis gave Chelsea heroin. Okay, so he gave Chelsea heroin in exchange for sex on April 15th. So that is the day that she was last seen. The day she vanished. So now we're consistent again. Davis initially was charged with trafficking in heroin and importuning, I'm not sure what that word is, never use it, involving Chelsea. Let's look that up. Importuning. Never heard it in my life. Persistent harassment of someone to do something. Okay, wow. So he was just like, hey, You give me sex, I'll give you drugs. He just kept bugging and bugging and bugging and bugging. Involving Chelsea. He still faces those charges in the indictment released Tuesday. Fairfield police won't call Davis a suspect in Chelsea's death, but have said he is a person of interest. Davis was an acquaintance of Chelsea's family, officials said. He remains jailed in Butler County on $250,000 bond. Okay, now we're into July now. Drugs offered to teen trial set. So now that guy's going to trial here. Man accused of offering drugs for sex to a slain teen. A trial date was set for a man accused of offering drugs for sex from a slain Fairfield teenager. As a hearing Thursday in Butler County Common Pleas Court, George Davis' trial date was set for September 17th, according to a spokeswoman. Davis allegedly sent a text message to 15-year-old Chelsea Johnson on April 15th. I wonder if that's where she went after. Maybe she parted ways with her mother's boyfriend. I don't know. April 15th, and offered to give her drugs, including heroin, in exchange for sex, according to Fairfield Police Chief Mike Dickey. Johnson was found stabbed to death April 16th near her Heritage Glen apartment. Now, I don't know. They haven't given us any autopsy information saying that she died on the, maybe she died, what time she died, right? I mean, she could have died on the 15th and still had food in her stomach for something she ate the night before, and then her body was dumped there. They're not really releasing that yet. I don't know. Johnson was found stabbed to death April 16th near the Heritage Glen Apartments between Pleasant Avenue and River Road. Dickey has called Davis a person of interest in the investigation, but Davis has not been charged with causing Johnson's death. I mean, the case got really complicated now, It's like all these different people that bench trial set for Cincinnati man. So he wants the judge to make the decision. George Donald Davis II is charged with importuning and trafficking drugs for allegedly text messaging Chelsea Johnson on April 15th and offering to give her drugs, including heroin, in exchange for sex. Davis was in court with his attorney, David Washington, on a motion to suppress statements he allegedly made to police, but he withdrew the motion. Fairfield Police Chief Mike Dickey this week said Davis continues to be a person of interest in the homicide of a Fairfield Options Academy student who was found stabbed to death on April 16th near a creek by the Heritage Glen Apartments. Okay, man 19. So let's just see what this says. A local man was found dead in a creek Thursday morning. In the same area, a teen was found stabbed to death earlier this year. A construction worker at the Creekside Village of Fairfield apartment complex on Pleasant Avenue found the body of 19-year-old Joseph William Oakley of Hamilton around 7 a.m. in the same creek. That's pretty weird. I mean, that's weird right there. Where 15-year-old Chelsea Johnson of Fairfield was found dead in April, said Officer Doug Day. The body was found sitting up, leaning against a tree, he added. That could have been, was it a homicide, though? Or? Oakley's body had at least one wound, a laceration to the head, according to the Fairfield chief, Michael Dickey. However, it is not confirmed that this is a homicide. The Butler County Coroner's Office is expected to perform an autopsy on the body Friday. Oakley graduated from the Fairfield Options Academy this year. Wow. So, I mean, this kid went to the same school and everything. According to Gina Gentry Fletcher, he was a very sensitive young man who took his schooling very seriously. Huh. That's a little weird, right? He goes to the same school, and he's found in the same creek. I mean, it's not like it... Look at, like, right in here, really? This creek? See, there's Chelsea Drive. Lot of weirdness in this one. Man offered drugs to slaying victims. So we're a little bit further now. Cincinnati man admits drug, sex charges, denies role in teen's death. The man who was considered a person of interest by police in Fairfield slaying pleaded guilty Friday to other charges and was sentenced to 5.5 years in prison. Wow, so quite a long time, really. George Davis, 24, of Cincinnati, was scheduled to go on trial Monday on drug trafficking, importuning, and compelling prostitution charges. He pleaded guilty as charged on the first 2 counts, and the compelling prostitution charges was amended to attempted compelling. He was accused of giving Chelsea Johnson drugs in exchange for sex just hours before the 15-year-old was killed. Davis first contacted Johnson asking if she wanted muscle relaxers or Valium. The text exchange then turned to an offer of heroin as a payment for sex, according to Fairfield detective testimony during a preliminary hearing. Johnson's body was found on April 16th in a wooded area near a creek by her mother's boyfriend. So now we're back to that. So it really was the mother's boyfriend finds her the next day after he was with her at a store buying a cell phone prepaid card. So now that's the story we are going with now. Yeah, isn't that crazy, Kimberly? It's like everything you read changes 5 minutes later. Let's see. So mother's boyfriend and a family friend. No, well, the family friend, boyfriend and a family friend. But earlier it was boyfriend and his son. So that's a variation. But now it does sound like the boyfriend was in there. Fairfield Police Chief Mike Dickey said he was pleased with the resolution of Davis's case. The fact that Davis pleaded guilty to these charges speaks to the strength of this case, Dickey said. We're confident that when we are able to charge a person in Chelsea Johnson's case, our case will be just as strong. There's nothing in any of the pleadings or documents or anything else that has to do with this young lady's murder, he said. He is not responsible for it. He never said he had anything to do with it. Oh, well, then he didn't then, right? I mean, he had anything to do with it, and there has never been any evidence against him regarding a murder. Well, as long as he just tells us that he didn't. I mean, aren't you guys okay with that? Police still trying to find who killed Fairfield teen. Chelsea Johnson was found stabbed to death 4 years ago today. This is 2016 now. She was found stabbed to death near a Fairfield Creek, close to the intersection of Pleasant Avenue and Nillis Road. Well, that's not true. These guys are... What's going on? Who's writing these things? I mean, Pleasant Avenue and Nillis Road is right here. Okay, the creek where she was found is over here. You guys are just lazy here. This is crazy. I guess they're just saying it was close to that intersection. And 4 years later, her killer remains unknown and uncharged. Just before the 3rd anniversary of the Fairfield Options Academy student murder, authorities announced a grand jury did not return an indictment against a suspect in the case, despite a year-long investigation in which the Butler County Sheriff's Office took a fresh look at the case. George D. Davis II of Cincinnati, who was sent to prison for drug trafficking, importuning, and having weapons under his disability for attempting to exchange heroin for sex with Chelsea, was released in January, according to the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction. So that one guy that got 5.5 years, he got out in 4. Fairfield Police and Butler County Sheriff detectives. I'm gonna have to load this up. Not sure what that blob is there. As well as county prosecutors say, the case is not forgotten, and they continue to work on any leads as they get them. But Johnson's mother, Vicki Feibel, says it's not enough. On Wednesday, she spent time in Hamilton County at an annual summit in Bond Hill as part of, hey, thanks, Eugenie. That's B2. What page was that on? A B10. So 20 maybe? Is that? There we go. I think Hamilton County needs to look at Chelsea's case, Feibel said. They are on it. Feibel said she is frustrated that her daughter's case continues to be unsolved and the lack of communication by officials with her. They don't call me. When I call them, it takes a day for them to call back. Adding another set of eyes is needed on the case. In April 2014, Feibel and other family and friends protested outside the Butler County Government Services Center carrying signs saying "Justice for Chelsea." Thank you, Danielle. At the request of Feibel, the Sheriff's Office joined forces that year with Fairfield Police and embarked on a tandem investigation. The results of that investigation were presented in a grand jury, 2 days of testimony, but the grand jury declined to return an indictment. Man, I want to know who that person is. Sort of guessing, but the only person we can guess on is the boyfriend, right? After consideration of all the facts in the case presented to it by the prosecuting attorney of Butler County, which included 2 days of testimony and the presentation of 9 witnesses, the grand jury has returned no indictment against the suspect. God, who knows who that is? This week, Moser said the case was not closed. It's not a cold case in the sense that they're still working. They're still working it. It remains under investigation. Butler County Sheriff Major Mike Kraft said they too continue to work on the case, but could give no more information about the investigation. But every time there is an anniversary or an event with media coverage, it does seem to get more information flowing, Kraft said. The Sheriff's Office is also investigating the Caitlin Markham disappearance. The shooting death of 19-year-old Joseph Oakley. So he was shot. That wasn't just a laceration. Found near the same creek as Chelsea in August also remains unsolved. Was that ever solved? Let's see. Murder of Joseph Oakley. No. I think that one's still unsolved. Crazy. Oh, so that's the guy right there. That's George Davis II. That was importuning and soliciting. Alright, now we're going to go to 2020. Are you the one that sent me this, Lindsay? Whoever sent me this, if you have the name of the actual person, I won't say it on the air, but I'd like to know who the person that the indictment was attempted on. So now this is a 2020 article, and this is the last one that I have here. Oh, I see. So it's just sort of like you could drive there, but nobody would be in the apartments. So people were just being dumped in there. Okay, that makes sense. Hey, Love and Living, 7 months. All right. Thank you. Oogla boogla. remember when Kelsey said oogla boogla for us? It was on something. She went oogla boogla. That was pretty funny. What do you mean? See how much they get wrong in this case. The unsolved homicide case of a 15-year-old Fairfield teen. I got the air conditioning on. We'll get a fresh look from the Ohio Attorney General Cold Case Unit. The new unit, based at the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, reached out to local law enforcement agencies to initiate a fresh look at unsolved cases. The unit offers new forensic analysis and investigative resources. The cold case of Chelsea Johnson, 15, who was found stabbed to death in April of 2012 near a creek close to the intersection of Pleasant Avenue and Nillis Road, is one the unit is now working to solve. We can make a difference even when years have passed since murder or sexual assault, Attorney General Davis Yost said in announcing the new unit. Let's see. The passage of time can actually help in that some witnesses become more willing to cooperate and technology advances. Consider, for example, how DNA testing has unmasked time and time again violent criminals who got away with living among us for too long. You got that right. Hey, it's Cali Gal 3. Man, you guys are amazing. So many cat eyes tonight. Thank you guys very much. So she's going to be taking over for Kelly Snyder as the new super freak. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so Johnson was a student at Fairfield Options Academy when she was killed. George D. Davis. Wow, there it goes. There you are, Cali Gal 3. Hey, I think you left before you could hear her. I was asking Cali Gal 3, maybe you could come on sometime and tell us what you guys do and sort of, maybe you could tell us some crazy stories or something if you can. And, you're a court reporter, right? Is that what you were saying? Or I saw you type that in on the earlier stream. I think it'd be awesome. Hey, thank you. Oh, look at Marie Crossley just immediately came in and took Cali Gal 3 out. Ah, jeez. Good job, Marie Crossley. Yeah, you'd be into doing that. I think that'd be a really interesting. Wouldn't you guys think that'd be interesting to hear from an actual court reporter? See how they do it. I want to know when you talk into the thing, you do you talk into it, or are you one of the like a stenographer typing? Oh, so you type. Man, I want to know how that works. You must, I mean, how you keep listening. I mean, my mind would wander. I guarantee it, Zozo just showed up in here. She couldn't be a court reporter. I mean, my God. I don't think most people could even do that. You'd have to sit there and keep listening? Who the hell, you know, God, I got other things to think about for a few minutes. Right? There's no way in hell that could be. I couldn't do it. Oh wait, what's Lindsay up there saying? I blame Vicky, but she didn't physically do it. I blame Vicky. Well, I think it could be the person she was dating. Lindsay, is that a horrendous option there? I mean, you got somebody that was with her at noon, and then he's the one that conveniently found her randomly in a creek somewhere? I mean, how did that happen? Anybody have a good explanation for that? Yeah, once you become the leader, you just, the super freak, you just stay the super freak until people chisel away and shift you out of there. But if you time it right, you can sneak in there and win becoming the super freak with a smaller amount. It's been hard tonight because of all the cat eye donations that just, you know, boom, take over. So you guys then chisel away, and, you know, like if you get down to 200 points, $2 would put you up on the super freak. Let's see. Yeah, where is she? Yeah, I mean, I want her, I think it'd be awesome if Caligal 3 would come on and explain how that works. I just don't know how people do it. Every time I see those court reporters and they just nail it, like they, you know, they go, hey, could you read back what they said 10 minutes ago? Yeah, let me get through there. Oh yeah, back then they said, and I'd like to have that explained too, you know, how do they get back? There isn't. You're just the last person on the screen is the winner, Zozo. That's it. It's just sort of a battle, like you can stay up there. Because right now, let's say it got down to like $200, 200 points left on Marie Crossley. She could then send 10 more in, and it puts points back on her own person. I think it's $1.25 or 125 points now, Cindy, because I increased it to 2,500, so it's like anyway, it's just something fun for people to do, you know. No, it doesn't carry over to the next show. Why would it do that? At the beginning of the show, I'm on there, and then somebody takes it over from me. I'm just sort of the default. Yeah, I think it's crazy though to be able to keep taking the notes in there, and then figure out, you know, like, oh, what did they say 10 minutes ago? And you have it down exactly what they said, and then if they, let me just ask this one question. When somebody objects to something and it shouldn't have been said, do you just completely cross it out forever? Huh? Yeah, she's just putting a post out there for oh yeah, she knows about that. Yeah. No, she was saying about the game. No, I mean, it really is just like somebody trying to stay the king of the mountain, you know, like it's just something extra to do, you know. I'm just trying to add something where, you know, if people don't like it, I can get rid of it. I really, you know, I like I think the goal thing over there is fun, but, you know, I also like the super freak also. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to keep it for a while and if it, people don't like it, then I don't have to keep it. But I think most people like it. They don't really have a lot of questions about it. It's just sort of, super freak. You stay up there. You can actually add to your own. Like if it's getting low, you jump in with $10 and boom, you're right back up to another $1,500. And it helps support the channel. And like I do, I support the over 50% of the net revenue I send into charities. So yeah, it helps my channel out. It helps the charities out because that's what I want to do. I'm not a charity intake company. That's just what we do because of your generosity. All right. Excellent. Johnson was a student at Fairfield Options Academy when she was killed. George D. Davis II of Cincinnati was sent to prison for drug trafficking and having weapons under disability. He also tried to, he kept trying to convince her to have sex by giving her heroin. Like, hey, I'll give you heroin for sex on the same day that she was murdered. But somehow they don't think he had anything to do with it. Vicky has thrown benefits for this since and happened down her out buying brand new motorcycles going on vacation. But what about what I set up above, though? Do you think that I don't know. So you're throwing a lot of stuff out there that's just sort of speculation, though, in there about throwing out a mattress and stuff like that. Is it in an article somewhere? So Vicky said, Lindsay said, Vicky has thrown out benefits for this since it happened, and her and Donna, I don't know who that is, are out buying brand new motorcycles, going on vacation. And then there was another one up there that said, I don't know, dating a neighbor from the apartment Applegate after Chelsea was with his son Monty Jr. We don't know what that means, Lindsay. You're acting like we're just all experts. Like we don't know who Monty Jr. is. We don't know who Monty Applegate Sr. is. We don't know any of these people. So what about the boyfriend that's mentioned in the articles? That is going to be this guy right here, Tim Childs. Who's he? Who's Tim Childs? What did he have to do with this? No, but we don't know who that is, Lindsay. I mean, you're talking about people as if we're supposed to already know who all those people are. Nobody knows who those people are. None of those were in the articles we were reading. So you're saying names and we have no context of anything to do with any of those people. Okay, it's Vicky's boyfriend. Okay, but I just told you the boyfriend's name. The boyfriend's name at the time was Tim Childs. Right here it says Tim Childs, Johnson's mother's boyfriend. It says it right there. I'm showing it on the screen. So who is this other person? Now, we don't have anybody named Monty here. Who is the Tim Childs person? Lindsay. That was the boyfriend at the time. Or is your whole story based on something that, oh my God, that wasn't even right? I'm just waiting here because what she wrote up there doesn't match, again, everybody, with what the article said. She goes, LOL, I suck. I realize that. Tim Childs is a family friend, is what was told to me, that was dating Chelsea in private. No, but it says right here in the article, it said, a clerk at Nillis Road store said she was with a neighbor identified by authorities as Tim Childs, Chelsea Johnson's mother's boyfriend. The two left the store on foot after the same guy, Tim Childs, bought a phone card according to investigators. And then miraculously, Johnson's body was discovered the next day by Tim Childs and his son the next day. So what do you think of that? That's pretty weird. Yeah, and you don't suck. I'm just saying your information was opposite of what is in this article here. Well, not opposite, just different. So I don't know who those people are that you mentioned in there. They don't seem to match anything that we've read out of any of these articles. The articles don't match because nobody interviewed anyone. These are the people that found her, and the reporting is off because Vicky has lied a lot. Well, it says authorities, though, identified Tim Childs as the mother's boyfriend. That's what the article says. So that's not correct. Is there anybody out there that's literally giving a damn? That's a family member or somebody who's really like at the forefront of trying to get answers here? I mean, that would be pretty interesting. Well, it doesn't have quotes around it, so how do I know that's a version of her Vicky's story? The article says that authorities, not Vicky, it said the authorities identified Tim Childs as Johnson's mother's boyfriend. It doesn't say Vicky identified them. So you're saying that Vicky told authorities, oh, he's my boyfriend, and that's the story, you know. See, here's the thing, everybody. I mean, I've been covering true crime a long time, and when I'm doing it, I pick up on all the things that aren't really making sense pretty quickly in them. And, you know, this story has already had like 9 or 10 things that don't really line up. And different in one article, different in another. And, you know, I'm not just going to go, oh, okay, oh, yeah. I need to have the actual answer. Okay, so the authorities talked to Vicky, and Vicky said, yeah, that was my... So she was trying to throw her boyfriend under the bus, is that right? So, I mean, so she's saying, Vicky goes, oh, I'm dating the guy that randomly found them. I'm dating the guy that randomly found her. I'm trying to figure out why Vicky would say something like that. Kind of doesn't really make sense to me. No, you're doing okay, but maybe we need to talk like off the side and get more information. So Tim Childs is just absolutely nobody that is just put in this article, in 2 different articles, actually, for absolutely no reason at all. I don't know, man. I'm having a hard time believing that one. Yeah, I can't find the other reference now. They didn't say his name in that one, though. It just said her boyfriend found the body. And a friend. So it was a friend. One article said that it was Childs and his son found Chelsea. Then another article said that it was her boyfriend and a friend that found Chelsea. And one article said that Childs was the boyfriend. Man, I need some sound effects here. What those are, I don't know. Huh. It's interesting that this voice mod program I have doesn't work. Probably not. I could tell you the story in a minute, Zozo, as long as you promise to focus in on what I'm saying and not some other side conversation. I could do it in a minute. All right? You ready? Type in "you're ready" and I'll do it. You ready? Okay, here we go. So, Chelsea Johnson was at home eating a grilled cheese sandwich, her mother says, at 11:30. Then at 12:30, likely at this store, this Ameristop, she was in there with her mother's boyfriend, apparently. And he bought a phone card, and then after that, she was then seen downtown, Chelsea was, and this mother's boyfriend, Tim, has nothing to do with anything at that point. And then she goes missing, and her mother called the police, and they were looking for her. Then the next day, 2 articles say that the same mother's boyfriend found her in this creek here with her son one time. The other article said with his friend. So it was with, the mother's boyfriend's friend and him found Chelsea in the water over here. And then the other article said it was the mother's boyfriend and his son. And then there's another individual who had texted her the same day that she went missing, April 15th, about exchanging heroin for sex. And he got brought up on charges. He was given 5 years. They don't think he has anything to do with it, though. So for me, the most logical person, if it is true that the person that found her in the water is the same person that was with her at the AmeriPro over here, Ameristop, I mean, it just feels like that's got to be the connection there. I mean, what are the odds that the same person then goes walking around in a creek and just randomly stumbles upon the missing child? So there you go. You were just caught up. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like there's a lot of weird stuff in this story. I've never read a sequence of articles that had such divergent information in such a short amount of time. I mean, it's ludicrous. So there you go. That was the breakdown information. Oh, and she was also... she had a tie-dye shirt on. I thought it said black shorts, if I remember right. And then they found a cell phone down there, but they don't know whose phone it was. And then they also said she didn't have her sandals on, and she was dumped in that area. Apparently these apartments burned down. Let's see what they look like back in... Let's see, that's 2010, 11. So this is 4 months after she was murdered. You can see, look at, nobody's living here. It's all construction, people building things. Look at dumpsters here with construction. So nobody's living in these apartments. And this is 4 months after she was found in the water here. I always like having images like that are so close to the time. And so this pretty much shows exactly what people are saying, is that these were under construction during that time. So it was a dumping ground because there's nobody living here, and you could just throw them in the creek there. But how do people find out about a dumping ground? She was stabbed to death. Some people say that she was actually... her throat was cut severely. Maybe just like a basically a Travis Alexander type. Huh? I don't get it. It's confusing, so I don't give up. I'm still talking about it. But you don't know if all stories are coming from Vicky, though, right? You're saying that up above, but these articles aren't saying, we talked to the mother and here's what we got. I mean, I'm not sure where you're coming up with that information. Right, she's saying, yeah, you get discouraged, so you just give up, you know, like that. That's what she was saying. I got it. Yeah. Hey, look at, even my jail has the super freaks. Well, we got Marie Crossley up there with a solid 2,500 points. Is anybody gonna take her out? Yeah, I know, KK. I've talked to her before. That doesn't mean that she has accurate information, though. Let's see. I sent you an email with you get a chance to check later. Yeah, she was stabbed, but there's also, I heard that her throat was cut. You know. I mean, sometimes when you're in, you have a certain bias towards somebody, everything seems a certain way after a while. Doesn't mean it's not accurate. It's just like every one of these articles was based on Vicky or, you know, the mother. I don't know. None of those articles said it. Maybe one. So I don't know. I just don't agree with that. That every article's basis is the mother's story. Seems like they talk to other people, and so I guess you could say, well, the other people are saying what the mother told them. Right. Figure out what happened. Sound weird to... Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. I'm not sure how to, like, where to start. I mean, because normally, guess what? Normally, you talk to the dad or the mother to get the information. But you're making it sound like the mother isn't really wanting to help anybody, and she's just inventing stories and that kind of thing. Right, that's the thing. But here's the problem, Amber, is I guess we don't really know the facts other than that she was found stabbed to death in the creek, missing her shoes. She didn't have her purse with her either, and she's just found right there. Now, Lindsay's up there telling us that the mother threw out a mattress. Well, do you want to call in, Lindsay? I can get a number out there, and you can call in and let us know what you're thinking. And if you feel comfortable doing that, if you don't, then that's okay too. But yeah, but that's the thing, Zozo. That's what two articles said, and then other article says a random passerby found the body, and then Lindsay's saying it wasn't the boyfriend either. Yeah, George is the guy. We already talked about him. He served 4 years. I know it sounds sus, KK, but it's just somebody saying something, so don't get all excited about it. Right? That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that when you get somebody just saying something, you can't just accept it as, oh yeah, wow, she threw out a mattress and it had blood on it, and how do we know? If you want to call in, though, Lindsay, I can get the number ready. If not, I'm not going to take the time to set it up. Do you want to do it? It's a Zoom number. You just dial these certain numbers. You just use your phone. You don't have to click in or anything like that. No, it's just a phone number. You just dial numbers, Lindsay. All right, so I'm going to do it. You're going to have to... Yeah, and I'll just talk. You know, you just let me know what's going on. All right.
Recording in progress.
Oh my God, he's recording it. Well, so is the live stream. People are just, let's see. Copy invitation. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, Jesus. I don't know how this is going to work. It's too... Can you see these numbers on the screen right there? Here, let me just... There we go. Go like that, and there was another part of it. All right, there you go. So, you know, East Coast, West Coast, Central, East, and then there's meeting ID and the passcode. Can you see it? There you go. Wow, how's everybody doing? Is anybody going to try to get Marie Crossley out of there or what? Yeah, so yours is going to be likely 929-205-6099. Then meeting ID 892-2616-4285. Passcode 696016. Time for me. Hey, good night, Bama Forever. And I think that was so cool that you, use my notebooks in your, city meetings. That's pretty sweet. They're in there for history. Yeah, that is cool. Oh, there she is. You there? Hello. Can you hear me? Oh. Her audio's connecting. You're not on the screen, just to let you know. You're just... Looks like she's outside or something. Cindy, you sound like an idiot when you type stuff like that in. I'm just letting you know, okay? Let's see. And I'm talking about Cindy J, not Liam. Okay, the audio is being connected right here.
Hello?
I think, yeah, you there?
Dude, I'm finally here.
Oh, cool. There you go. I saw you in the background trying to get going.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
there's lots of confusing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like every article has different things going back and forth, all over the place. Where one article says one thing, the other one, so some random walker by saw somebody. Then it's the boyfriend with his son found her body. Then the next one says her boyfriend and a friend of his found her. So what do you know for real?
So Vicky has a boyfriend that she still currently has, which is Applegate Senior. Mm-hmm. And then I guess Chelsea was with Junior, Applegate Jr. previously, like before Vicky. So somehow that got tangled up, but they are both neighbors of that apartment building. Like there's multiple buildings. Tim Childs was also named as a neighbor, but she told me that he is a family friend. And she also told me like he was dating her. So it's because she's telling all these different versions.
Well, so the child said he was dating. She said
Correct.
The mother said she was dating Childs.
Vicky said that Tim
Vicky.
Childs was a family friend.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he just sold her drugs, honestly.
But maybe Tim Childs. So what about the boyfriend that you're talking about? He didn't find.
He's still around. That is Senior, and he found, along with Junior and Brian, which is her brother. She told me all three of those men found Chelsea's body. But the person who called 911 and said he found the body or whatever is Tim Childs.
Okay, but what was he there with them though? He was one of the people though, right?
Vicky left that out to certain people. So she kind of told different stories to different news stations, I guess, and family members. So it's not real clear like who was there. I heard it was both Applegates and her brother, Chelsea's brother Brian, who found the body. Tim Childs is the one who actually called 911 and said he said on the 911 call that he found the body.
So, yeah, I mean, but one of the articles, see, this might make sense then that all three of them did, because this is how it said. The boyfriend, they said, was Tim Childs with his son, but that was probably the other guy with his son, right? The Applegate, is that what you said?
Correct. So they're both named Monty.
Okay, so anyway, so Monty and his son, and then it seems like Tim was probably there too. Because they also say in articles that a friend was there. So maybe that's who that was. And then an article confused Tim as being the boyfriend somehow.
Correct, because in one of the very first interviews, Vicky said that Tim Childs was there like at the apartment with Chelsea while all this was happening and she was at work.
Mm-hmm.
She did not report Chelsea missing. I'm not sure of the date, but she said she didn't think that she could report her missing like right away. So she like knew she was missing, went to the school, like no family even knew Chelsea was missing. We heard that they found her body, which these three men or whoever went straight to the body.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
They
I mean, how
knew.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is how did they know
mile.
that they? How did they know where to go? You know.
Well, supposedly Tim Childs said to Vicky, like, "Oh, Chelsea went over to this, you know, dried up creek." It wasn't even a creek. It's more like a like where people just throw garbage. It's very dried up. You're not fishing there. It was a very weird story from the beginning. And Vicky even says that. But Tim Childs is the one that apparently called 911, found her. I think they just kind of wanted someone other than Monty Jr. and Monty Sr. to be calling.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's still confusing, even the way that you have it. It's like these three people, you know.
Yeah, it's meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even know she was missing or anything until we heard on the news that she was already dead. So they went straight to that body. Like, they knew. And they waited. And they kind of made up stories and went to the school. And it was very weird the way it happened. Because I think Vicky told her friends, like, "Oh no, Chelsea's going to her dad's." I've never even met Chelsea's dad. So I know that's a lie because she doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, he's not in her life. So all of it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel a little closer to Chelsea now that she's gone because my family was broken apart already.
Well, how are you related? Like, who are you?
So Vicky is my actual first cousin. So Chelsea would be my second, I guess. And like my aunt is Vicky's mother, Donna. So
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's confusing, but they're trying to make it more confusing on purpose, adding all these extra people.
Well, tell me, what's this thing about the bed that you're talking about?
So I went, pretty much right after I seen the news and everything, like, I went over there because I saw where she lived on the news. I didn't even know she was that close to me. And me and my husband went over there, and she was just kind of bragging about nobody was questioning her, nobody was searching. They weren't looking at Chelsea's, room.
But she was reported missing and then found the next day, though, right?
I'm not even sure if she actually got to report.
Okay, but the articles say it. I mean, you know, a lot of times you're saying things you're not sure of that, but I'm just going by an article that said that she.
Me as a family member, I never heard about her missing until she was already found dead. Is what I'm saying.
Well, right. I mean, you're probably not like right there, right? So, like, it said in the articles that she reported her missing.
I mean, none of the
evening.
family knew. It was a very close. I don't know if she notified her mom, but just the way she did it seemed like she knew before she reported it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it could have been, but like, so on the 15th, it sounds like she called in that night, and then the next day, they were found. I think that's what the earlier article said, that she was reported missing the same night. I guess I'll have to go back and check it out, but I mean, she was found.
The problem is it's all coming from Vicky, so it gets kind of like whoever's reporting, it kind of changes each time. Yeah,
well, all the articles are changing, but I'm just wondering if some of it's from Vicky and some of it's from actual reporting, and that's why they don't match up. Because why would Vicky keep changing her story around? I mean, on basic stuff where... Sorry about the... but, like, I don't know how Vicky's story continues to change. You know, she would at least remember, oh yeah, well, this Tim guy was the I'm saying was my boyfriend, but he really wasn't, and now I'm changing it to somebody else, and he was... I mean, aren't the police interested
in a web of lies, and you're addicted to like drugs and stuff? I really don't know where your mindset's at.
Was she drugs? Did she do drugs too, the mother?
I don't know if Chelsea did, but I know her mother does.
So, Chelsea... Well, it sounded like... Well, we don't know for certain, but it sounds like that person she was communicating with, you know. Yeah, it was implied, right? And I wonder... I mean, did that person ever actually meet her and give her the heroin and that kind of thing? Is that known from that trial, or not a trial?
I really don't know. I'm speculating on if they charged him, he probably met up with her.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's just... I was hoping the articles would just make it clear, but I could see halfway through there was like 2 or 3 different contradictions.
The apartment building is pretty much where everything stems, though, because she got the hell out of there. She threw away the mattress. She moved to Harrison. She was ready to get out of there for a reason. And
so what makes you think
to blame, like other neighbors, but she wouldn't give names. It was just weird because she had lots of different stories.
Well, who has the mattress story out there?
Nobody. I saw her do that.
Oh yeah, I mean, did you see anything at all? Did it have any?
It just looked like a dirty, stained mattress. It didn't show blood or anything, but it definitely, she did not want it.
And when did you throw that out? How long after?
Probably about a week after, 2 weeks maybe.
That's weird.
It's very weird.
So maybe she actually... Well, they said they saw her downtown. The things you gotta know are like, what time did she communicate with the guy trying to sell heroin for sex? And then she was seen at 12:30 at that gas station. And then she was apparently seen downtown. And what time was that?
I didn't hear the downtown part.
What's that?
I did not hear about the downtown part. It was the Ameristop, like right by... Pretty much like less than a mile from her apartments and where she was found.
Yeah, well, I think I have it on the map here. Here, let me... I don't know if you can see it, but anyways, it's just... It looks like that's got the same roof type, and it's near that intersection of River... Or what was the intersection? I think it was, Nillis Road. So just after you go up Southgate Boulevard and you take a right and go a block, it looks like there's another name of a gas station, but I think it probably used to be PM Ameristop, or just not PM Ameristop.
Yeah, it was in walking distance of her apartment.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like it's as a crow flies. It's I mean, it's probably just a little over a half mile. It's not far at all.
So to Vicky, like what Vicky told to me is Tim Childs was the last one to see her and know where Chelsea was going, and I think he was seen with her on that Ameristop camera footage.
I never saw that. Is that out there?
Yeah, it's one of our local news stations. Like a lot of the clips are only like, less than 5 minutes, but what I gather from that, plus what Vicky was saying, it was apparent that Tim Childs was like at her apartment while Vicky was at work, and she didn't say where Brian was, but she said that Chelsea and Tim were at the apartment, and then Chelsea went to the creek, apparently alone. But that can't be true because she was at a Maristop with Tim, so I'm guessing she was hitting a Maristop before the creek. But I really don't know.
Well, she had to be at the Maristop first because that was at 12:30 p.m. and she's still alive, and she was dead when she was in the creek.
Right, but they don't say whether Tim Childs like walked her to the store and then came back, or did he go to the creek with her?
Well, right. I mean, that's the thing is, I mean, when I was reading it, that's exactly what I mentioned.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I said
he doesn't elaborate.
Yeah, like where did he go? I mean, wow, they go there.
So he was,
you know,
he was at Vicky's apartment when Vicky got home from work, and Vicky is telling us like, "Hey, I was asking him where my daughter was." Because he said she went to the creek. So he was there when she left for work, and he was there when she came home from work.
I mean, so she just said, "Hey, I'm heading over to the creek in an abandoned apartment complex."
Correct.
Why would she say
by
that?
Herself.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
I mean, it could have been anything, but what's not clear is whether he went with her. Did he? Obviously, she didn't come back with him, so...
Zozo, who are you talking about? They arrested the guy who sent the message, and he got 4 or 5 years in prison.
Yeah, that's George.
Yeah.
Tim Childs is the guy who's called a family friend or a boyfriend. He was there when Chelsea disappeared, when she was there, and then when Vicky got home and she was not there. So...
But how come in the articles it says that... 2 different articles said that they saw Chelsea downtown after the 12:30.
I have not seen that, and I'm not sure about that.
That makes less sense. Maybe there's people that just said they saw her, but you know, maybe they were told to say that, or who the hell knows. But yeah, because that's without that, it makes more sense.
Right, so there's a lot of confusion thrown in there and people thrown in there on purpose, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea probably did do drugs, right? I mean, just from all the information that you have.
I mean, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and likely, you know, I don't know if that guy actually supplied her with drugs, but I mean, there's got to be something like that to him being given 5 years. He must have given her something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there should have been some solid... We weren't told any of that. And I didn't hear any... I was already not speaking to Vicky, so I don't
yeah, I mean, there's people in the chat, they're just sort of not getting it. They're acting like, wow, what's Chelsea doing around these hardcore... But she probably did drugs and would get drugs sometimes. I mean, I don't know what this conversation was, but to me, that part of the story makes sense. Like, it's just something that she would do. And it seemed like, oh, wow, that seems like that might be related to what happened to her. But, and here's another thing. We don't know what time that guy was communicating with her. It would be interesting if that guy was having communication with her after 12:30. And that's why she was seen downtown, right?
Yeah, I don't think they even... I could be wrong, but I don't think they said the times for George. But he served his time and was not charged with murder, so I'm assuming it was before she was murdered.
Okay, yeah, so it's before she was murdered, but she was murdered on the 15th, right? So they found her the next day, but they've been able to determine, based on probably food content or whatever, that it was the day before on the 15th. So the thing is, you know, apparently she was at home at 11:30, but for certain she was at the PM Ameristop at 12:30. Wouldn't you think that this drug conversation would have taken place after that?
I really don't know.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it could be any time, but
I think Vicky works like a 9 to 5 type of job, so she wouldn't be getting home until 5, 6 in the evening.
Well, somebody said, because you've been talking about the mother doing drugs, they said, I suspect her mom sent her to buy drugs for her. I don't think so. Yeah.
That's a possibility, but I think more along the lines of her mom kind of pimping her out.
Mm-hmm. You think there's something like that?
Right.
But she probably did drugs because her mom does drugs, I would bet.
I mean, probably, yes.
Oh, what a shitty situation.
Yeah, she was definitely raised in a shitty environment.
Yeah, some people just they almost don't have a chance right at the beginning. They just have these really shitty parents that are, they don't really care about their kids at all. It's more about themselves.
Very much.
So what else do you got out there?
Oh my God.
Oh, there's more?
It's hard to place all these, scenarios because some of it's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you have opinions based on factual information, that's interesting to me. But if you have an opinion just on a feeling, I don't like doing those. So what kind of opinions do you have based on factual information?
Just the greed in my family, the way they fight over money. It's been going on for years and before Chelsea was murdered, but I don't know if there was like a life insurance. I don't know why the money thing seems so important, but they like do benefits and they are still like getting money off of her death. Like, it's weird to see them like celebrating and like buying all these expensive things. It's hard to watch, but it's definitely not benefiting Chelsea because clearly I'm coming to YouTube to like try and get her story out there 11 years later. So whatever they're doing, I really just I have no idea. I know there's multiple people involved.
So who's behind like the another article pops up. So it seemed like there was a bunch of them in 2012, and then almost nothing for 4 years, and then there's one in 2016, and there's one in 2020. So who's behind those?
I believe it was just them trying to get a little bit of hype around their benefit.
So that's interesting. That means somebody's still caring, the police,
I don't know much about the police. I know that I just hear what Vicky has said, and I don't have much faith in them because of all the unsolved stuff around that particular creek. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're hearing Vicky, the lady that you don't believe on anything, tell you that.
Right? I don't, but
yeah, and then you believe
the
her.
fact that they're not questioning her doesn't give me very much faith in them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, do you communicate with Vicky? I mean, if she heard you on here, wouldn't she be a little bit upset?
I don't give any fucks, but
okay.
The other day, I was sharing Chelsea in some true crime Facebook groups, and I tagged her because I was talking shit, and I felt weird, like, I'm going to tell her. And then she shared it, not knowing that I was tagging her because I was talking shit. And then she came back and was, it's on my Facebook still. Her and Donna were calling me a liar and telling me I was a horrible mom and that I'm not their family. But really, they were not my family after they allowed Chelsea to die.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, have you ever tried contacting the police over there?
I did. I think a few of us all did, like right when it first happened, trying to, let them know a little bit of background, but they were not questioning anyone. They were not interested, and they kind of took it as like a bunch of rumors. Kind of how you're taking it, how everybody takes it. It's just a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, that's what it does. That's what it comes
It's
across.
meant- it's meant
even
to.
yourself, when you say it's meant to, I mean, it's hard to really know. In your case, you don't know. I mean, you're not absolutely sure of your facts either, right? Like when you tell it.
Just what I've experienced myself with her.
Mhm.
From the things she says, I can't really verify anything she says, Vicky.
Yeah, but the whole thing, even about the guys that found them.
Yeah, that was coming from
yeah.
Vicky.
Right, but it's like, but do you know for certain yourself even? Because who knows what the actual answer is? Has anybody talked to
No,
this
I don't.
guy, the boyfriend, and said, "Hey, were you the one?"
I don't think so.
Maybe I should. Maybe if you can send me an email, maybe I can try to get a hold of some of these people.
I think they used Tim Childs as kind of like so nobody else would get questioned. I really don't know why Tim Childs was even in the picture.
Well, I know, but you just a minute ago you kind of explained why he would be in the picture, because he was the one at the house. I mean, if I was somebody just looking at the case, the way he was brought up in the articles, he would be one of the main people. That,
Right.
So, but that's somebody else's story. But you're saying that he was at the house, but that's just Vicky telling you that, right?
Right.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
he was the one on the 911 call basically saying he found her body.
But is that
So-
true? Is that real?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the actual 911 call.
Have you heard it?
I have.
Is it out there online for people to listen to?
I believe so. I think it's on Channel 9. They played like the clip of it. It might be the Enquirer, Cincinnati Enquirer, but it's one of the very first ones when Vicky was doing an interview. They kind of played it behind the clip.
Oh, wait, yeah. Okay, hold on a second. I think I have the wording here. Anyways, it said, "We found a little girl's body in a creek. Please help," the caller said. Johnson's body was found. And today I found out she was stabbed, and I didn't even know until I seen it on the news. I figured I'm mom, and I should have... I'm mom, and I should have found out that my daughter was stabbed shouldn't have found out through the media. The cop should have come and told me to my face. She loved to read, she was funny. Someday she wanted to join the army.
See that right there?
Mm-hmm.
If her boyfriend and everybody coming from her house found her child, why would she hear from anybody but those three people?
That's a pretty good point, yeah. Yeah, it's like, so I figured, let's see. And today I found out she was stabbed, and I didn't even know it until I seen... Well, it's about being stabbed. That part. She already knew that she was found, but today she found out that she was stabbed. And she heard it on the news instead of the police telling her that first. That part. So that kind of makes sense.
Right, but if her boyfriend found her body, he would know and tell her.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I mean?
yeah, sometimes. I mean, it's hard to know because if they're in the water, sometimes people don't just go grab somebody. They go, "Oh, great, don't touch her. Go call the police."
Right.
We don't really know how.
No,
that
I've heard most of these weird little tidbits from her because the media was not, like, you've seen how little coverage. They weren't like exposing her specific wounds and all that stuff. This stuff was coming from Vicky. Most of it, actually.
Mm-hmm. I want to hear that. Wish I could hear it, how he sounded on that.
The fact that he calls her little girl and Vicky is trying to say this is a family friend. It's like he's trying to, distance himself.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Gosh, I'm not even sure where to go. This is one of those ones where it sounds like the reporting is so terrible. And everybody,
Yeah,
everything is shitty. The cops haven't really done a great job. The reporting's terrible. They really haven't looked into maybe some of the right people to get answers. And if I was them, I'd bring in the 3 people that were apparently there when she was found and work backwards.
Right. And I don't know for certain if that was actually done, but I know that Vicky was bragging specifically about them not being under investigation. And because of all the crime that was happening, it was like they specifically chose that creek because they knew it could possibly be, passed off as connected to another, person's crime when it was isolated because she was not like just dumped there. Her body was laid like someone cared about her and laid her there and took the time to, position her body.
Oh, is that what they said? It didn't say that in any of the articles.
Right. We're just getting facts from Vicky's whatever she's hearing from police, but I'm pretty sure all of it's coming from her boyfriend and everyone who found her because police never came out with any of that. So they were at the funeral, like I don't know. They seemed like they were watching, but she was saying, hey, it's all good. They're not investigating us. We have nothing to do with it. It was Tim or it was George.
Yeah, God, this is it's frustrating actually listening to it.
Yeah, it pisses me off.
Yeah, it's almost like, they just didn't really. She's one of the marginalized victims out there that probably they threw her into a category of a young drug user. Yeah, well, that's kind of going to be down on our list. We're going to go find that innocent person that did nothing wrong that was killed. That happens all the time. To me, it doesn't really matter.
Vicky's also been at the forefront, so God only knows what she told police about Chelsea.
Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting to see their notes, investigative notes, and everything that she said. I think that'd be interesting.
Is there a way to get that?
Well, they probably wouldn't give it because it's an active investigation. They would call it that. Even if it's technically a cold case, they would still call it an active investigation just so that you can't look at it.
Yeah. I don't think it would hold much to it because she lies.
Yeah, so the mother, you talked to Vicky and she said that she was on the ground but nicely, like had a jacket on her, like that kind of thing.
I'm not sure what was covering her, but they almost had her cell phone shit just kind of neatly beside her, her hands down at her side. It wasn't somebody just dumping somebody they didn't know.
Nobody just like swung her in there and left.
No.
Yeah, well, you said cell phone, and in the articles it said that they found a cell phone near her, but they don't know whose it is.
Yeah, I think that's how they found George and charged him.
I was just thinking that, like maybe that's how so that was her phone then, that they found, but
Correct.
I mean, it seems like it would have been really obvious if it was like how you're saying, where the phone was neatly tucked in next to her. It seems like that would be pretty clear that was her phone at that point. But if it was a phone found, 45 yards down the creek, near her.
Right.
These articles are just so vague.
That's what I'm hearing from Vicky and family, not law enforcement.
Mm-hmm. So what can we do next? What do you think?
I really don't know.
Yeah.
I know this isn't going to make certain people happy.
Well, I guess we'll see how it goes. Probably get an email. Take down your video.
Right?
Yeah.
A lawsuit, possibly.
Oh no, they would just. You're the one that's talking about it. I'm just listening. I don't know anything about it.
Well, I don't have nothing to take, so they're shut out of luck.
Yeah, I don't know anything about her. You're just telling your story. Let's see. There's been, yeah. I mean, something I was thinking about early on is in that 2020 article that I read. It was talking about DNA. I mean, did they ever do swabs of her body somehow? There's got to be some DNA from the killer on her, right?
I didn't hear anything. Literally, what you see on the internet is what I have heard, which is very little.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom and her grandma and stuff, like, it's not really about Chelsea. It's what can I get from other people, donations, bike ride. They don't really even want to talk about the case.
Yeah, because you were mentioning that they got a couple new motorcycles.
Yeah. Among other things. That's what they're interested in. And that's why there's so little coverage, because they're not.
You know what you should do is do like a FOIA request yourself as being a family member and see if you can get some information. You know, whether it's the coroner's report or just anything. Any sort of crime scene reports. Just give it a shot. You know, call somebody over at the police department and say, hey, I'd like to order Freedom of Information Act request. Where do I go do that? And they'll tell you exactly how to do it, and then do it and see what you get.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, I think that'd be probably the best shot. The mother would have a better chance at getting it, but I mean, you know, that doesn't sound like a viable option. Where's her father?
I literally do not know. I'm pretty sure he was at the funeral, but that would be the only time I've ever heard or seen him.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't he sort of like, hey, let's get some answers?
I don't think so, honestly.
Yeah. You know, so we get cases out there where you have these parents that they work their asses off for years trying to get answers. And in this one, right off the get-go, forget it. Who cares?
No.
Right? It's ridiculous. Man, that's just what a horrible circumstance for her to have parents so shitty.
Right?
I mean, that's what it seems like.
There's no easier way to put it, man.
I mean, how come they're not out all the time on podcasts? And I mean, I bet you. I mean, has she ever been on a podcast? Any of them? The parents or
no.
So you've already done more than any of them, just being on this show right now, right?
Man, that makes me feel horrible because it's been 11 years. That's, I guess so, because they're more concerned with themselves.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll do some more digging around. Maybe we'll see if we can find the 911 call. If you know where it is, maybe send me that. And what was the other thing that you had? That was the 911 call, and then there was one other element that you said was out there. Oh yeah, the surveillance video in the store.
Yeah, they interviewed the like the clerk or cashier that was at the store that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you can get that,
he described Tim Childs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Tim Childs was there with her, and for some reason he bought a phone card, prepaid phone card, and then after that there's no information about. And then after that, Tim took her back to, nothing. It's just they're there, and then the next day she's found in the creek. So to me, that you're lacking, just basic information. Call Tim Childs up and say, Tim, where did you go with Chelsea after you were at the, what's the name of that place? The Ameristop. Where did you go? Right after that. Go ahead.
I believe he said that he went back to the apartment and she went on to the creek. But
okay, so she walked west. They went west together, and so he just kept walking, or did they drive there together? How did they get to the Ameristop?
I was told that they walked and then he went back to the apartment.
Okay, so
And
then
then
they went west
yeah.
down Nilla Street, and he took a left on Southgate Boulevard, and she took a right on River Road. Is that what they're saying?
I believe so.
Does
I'd have
River-
to check the road.
Well, River Road is the one that goes north, and then you take a right, and you're in that apartment complex, basically. Or she could just walk through the
basically-
fields, I guess. But
Basically, he said she went to the field or the creek, and he went back to Vicky's apartment.
isn't it more likely, though, that if he is involved, that he's the one that went to the creek with her, and that, you know, she's in the creek because he knows exactly why she's in the creek, and then later says, oh, she said she went to the creek, and then goes there with the other people to pretend like he's part of the discovery too. Sort of helps clear him. If he had just said, hey, Chelsea's over at she went to the creek, and then they go over there, oh, she's dead in there. How'd you know she went to, make it seem more suspicious. But now he's with them, and he's just part of the search crew, and
right, and the part with George being in the mix, like maybe Tim was pissed because she said no to something. I don't know what happened.
Mhm.
But he was with her for sure.
No, and maybe he wanted some of that heroin that they would have got had she had sex with George.
Correct. Something along those lines, and when she
Hmm.
said no or I can't, he...
Yeah, that's interesting. It'd
Yeah.
be interesting to ask if George could be a little bit more... Well, see, here's the thing is George knows stuff that fills in part of the timeline, for sure. Yeah.
I don't think he was talking much.
Well, he cut a deal. He pled guilty, so that's right. So he went for a judge's thing, then he pled guilty. So maybe that
The reason
avoided.
why, he didn't get charged with anything else is because he stayed quiet and they just had text messages.
No, it's interesting. So he pled guilty. He knew what he was going to get. He'd be out in 4 years with good
Yep.
behavior. He didn't want to continue. If he went to trial, it might have been a lot of information that would have. Well, I mean, why would he care that much about that? I guess he could have had a lot bigger sentence because you get a jury, and they're going to be going, oh, and she died later. Ooh, man. Let's give him 10 years or 15. So he probably just said, okay. Wow.
Right? You leave with more questions than you started with.
Well, it makes it more interesting, like a bigger puzzle to try to put together. But the problem is we're putting together a puzzle with pieces that don't really exist.
Right?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Hey, remember that one piece of puzzle that has that other curve? Go find that one. Well, that's not really there. Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, how about you send me that stuff, and maybe we'll do another one where try to maybe you could like write things down that you remember and put it all in a nice, because this was just kind of impromptu, but you might be able to sit around. Is there anybody else that you communicate with about this stuff?
Not really, man.
You're just alone.
Yes.
Wow. Well, how about you like sit around on your own, whatever, have a glass of wine, something, and then come up with all the things in your mind that you remember and write them all down, and then we'll go over every single one of those things.
So write a book and then get back to you.
Yes, exactly. Then we'll be able to see if the book is viable.
Oh, man. You're screwed, buddy.
Well, I think it'd be kind of interesting, though. So I think we should do it. What do you think?
I'm for it.
Okay, how about
Justice for Chelsea.
Oh, yeah. How about you send me the, what do you call it? Yeah, if you can find me where the 911 call has an audio file and the surveillance footage thing, then I can take a look at that. I'll just keep adding it to the same folder. Is that cool?
Okay. Cool.
And if any other freaks find it out there, you send it over too. All right. Well,
Thank
hey,
you so much.
Well,
man.
hey, Lindsay, that was interesting. Thanks for. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm a little tougher than other people because I just want to get try to find
No, I
something that's
appreciate it.
reasonable. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come talk to the freaks. All right.
Yes, sir. I am a freak too.
That's right. I saw that. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, thanks for calling in. We'll do it again. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Rewinding.
Yeah, well, that was pretty interesting. Man, I feel really bad for Chelsea, though. Don't you guys? It just seems like what a nightmare. It's like a dumpster fire of a life with just who's looking out for her, 15-year-old kid just living a dream, huh? I think she lived in this building right here. Looks like a prison right out of the gate. Yeah, we're just looking for the towers with the sniper people. Where are they? Yeah, she lives in this building right here. Looks just like a prison, doesn't it? And then she went walking down the street. Here, I'll do exactly her walk here with that guy. Went down the street like this. All right, it's only 0.6 miles. Shouldn't take that long. Cindy was telling me that, don't be mean, don't be mean. It's like, well, I'm going to have to time you out, Cindy. I'm very rarely ever mean on the phone calls. And it's only when things aren't working. Well, let's see. So much farther do we have down there? Oh, yeah. So it just was down the rest of the way here. You come down here, and then it looks like it froze. Let me see if that works. Then around the corner, and just likely right over to here. Just kind of going down this road, and I'm pretty sure that this building right over here, that's a Sunoco now, is probably what was the Maristop before. Yeah, it'll be cool to, I'd like to have her come back on with sort of everything prepared and written down so we can just kind of go through it. No, they didn't say anything about the kind of knife. I don't know how that would help us, but it's just, we don't really know anything about anybody. Yeah, so, yeah, I think it'd be great to have her come back on again. And look at that, it's Robin up there as the super freak. So, anyways, I think that's going to do it, you guys. I don't really have much more to say tonight. What about you? Yeah, it seemed like she had a decent time. If you ask Cindy J, though, boy, I was just going to be really mean. I have to be sort of tough, though. I mean, you guys see where I was going. I was getting some things and, making sure that we're in the same, getting... I don't know how to explain it. I just know what I'm doing when I'm doing it. That's it. Yeah, I don't know why she just kept saying that. It was weird. Gray, just be nice, okay? And then I said, Cindy, that's idiotic. I am nice on these calls. Okay, they're every once in a while. Well, either way, just be nice to... What the hell? Jesus. Man, are you that... Let's see, Megan, I'm not sure what that is at the end of your thing. I appreciate you all so much. Seriously, this needed to be talked about. Well, cool. Well, I think it needs to continue to be talked about. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, right, Lindsay? Sometimes we talk over each other because there's a delay on Zoom. Yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, I was sent it. I think Lindsay, were you the one that sent it to me the other day, or it could have been somebody else? But I think it was you. And I looked at it and I go, "Hey, yeah, I'll do this." Looked interesting. There's another one for tomorrow that's also Cairo sent it over, so I'll be doing that. He told me about it on the phone. I talked to him on the phone today. I saw that he popped in there for a minute. Yeah, did he remember when he said he stepped on a nail? Man, he just went through hell and I mean, like ludicrous stuff going on with that foot, but it sounds like it's getting better now, finally. Yeah, the problem with covering the Australia cases is they don't give you any information. You know, the cold cases do have information. The ones I've gone back way a long time ago, just like everybody else. What was the one? The guy, the Australian that killed the person from, where was it? What was he? Man, see, that's just COVID brain. That's something that just usually shoots right in my head. You know, next to Israel, the small country that they always battle with all the time. God, what the hell's going on? Anyways, she was right there. And that story was pretty well covered. It showed exactly where she was found, the bus routes. Yeah, Palestine, right? Palestinian is what I was looking for. God, why couldn't I just remember that? That's ridiculous. That's such an easy thing for me to remember, but I couldn't remember it. Yeah, she was Palestinian, and he was Australian, and she was just on a bus. She followed him off or I think she just got off the bus. He followed her and then just stabbed her to death. He was that idiot that did the rapping music, the one that goes, "I can't rap, so I say if and this and if and that." Yeah, he's just another incel wacko, you know. Same guy. Remember how crazy that one was? Yeah, it is. It's a real thing, that COVID thing. Yeah, there's just these really simple things that currently it's sort of pulling them out of my memory is a little harder. I mean, it's not like ludicrous. It's just Palestine. How do I not, you know? Really simple. Yeah, remember him? Yeah, the lyricist. What was his name? It was like, that was a really interesting one, I thought. Because it really, that one was one of the few stories in Australia that was very up to date, had all the information where she was seen, very open with it. You know, so I like that. And then he was arrested, but it was just absolutely brutal. She was on the phone, if I remember correctly, talking to her sister in Palestine, I think. I mean, like, they were talking on the phone, and right in the middle of the call, she gets murdered. I mean, how just disgusting is that? And horrifying at the same time. Yeah, I know that. There was nothing wrong with him, so it's not really a story, Lisa. Yeah. Yeah, well, if the jury doesn't find Lori guilty, then it's either something to do with religious beliefs on the jury, or they're all morons. That's it. Here, let me see if I can find that really quick. Hold on. What was there? How's it spelled again? Up there. AI. Shit. I lost it. Yeah, AIIA. I'm gonna see if you guys gotta hear this guy rap. It's crazy. That was like 3 years ago, right? Will I be doing a live for that DA? Don't even know what that means, Georgina. Will it mean that day? Like DAY? I can't rap, so I say effing that and effing. That guy said effing this and effing that. I can't rap, so I said that. Oh, that's shit. Yeah, I'll just go with that name. What was the name? Herman? Cody Herman. Actually, I'll just do Herman. See if that shows up. Tina Herman. There's another person with that same name? I did a case called Tina Herman, spelled exactly the same. Maybe. I mean, everybody's gonna. I don't have the audience really for the Daybell case. Just the audio thing. I was trying that for a while, but it got to the point where it was just, it was killing me. Herman. Man, I don't know where that is. Having a hard time finding it. I used to be able to find that thing pretty quick. At least the verdict. Oh, so they're going to televise the verdict. Okay. Well, I mean, who's got the live feed of that? You mean for the verdict? Wait, what was her name again? A-I... Oh, A-I-I-A. All right. Try that again. Yeah, it's nothing's really. It did pop up a monster without mercy, horrific details of Ayla Masarwe. I can see it right here, but there was a folder that I had that had all of his rap in it, and I'm trying to find that one. See if I can just randomly find it really quick. Oh, it's already been a while, so. Yeah, but where, Georgina? So the courthouse has the feed, but where is it? Like, what's the link to that? I get the audio every day from the, the court reporter, but that's it. Like, I got the hearing for today, and I don't know, maybe I'll get the verdict audio too, and oh, really? You might try to cut a deal? How? Do you guys see that on East Idaho News, the video where Lori was served her papers in Hawaii with Chad sitting on a poolside, just totally bathing in the sun? What a bunch of losers, After they killed these two children, they're over there sitting around on a poolside. What? What? I don't know why I'm having a hard time finding this one file here. It shouldn't be that difficult. Shouldn't be hard at all. I'll find it one of these days. Disgusting. Anyways, you guys, I'll be doing another. I liked how we just did like a 2-hour show on the trial, the Jodi Arias trial. That was a lot easier to manage. Just barely took up a couple hours of my day, and seems like people are interested. So now we're going to be on day 16 with her on the stand some more, Jodi Arias, talking about all of her sexual positions and how they did it, and oh, it was so crazy, and it was just, I've never heard a trial quite like that. Have you guys? Hey, I know what I can do. Let me try the entire computer. This PC. Now we'll do it. Let's check that name. All right, let me do Cody. Pretty sure I have him like that. All right. Here now, so I think I might work on U.S. time and have one. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's 9:20. But anyways, I think that's going to do it. So thank you for all being here tonight and supporting the channel. Do you guys like the show goal and the super freak up there? I think it's kind of cool. It sort of highlights a freak out there that was, throwing in some super chats. You got a little battle going on sometimes. And then you got the goal over here where you guys beat it again. You guys are freaking awesome. Yeah, I think it just makes it, a little something else going on. And at least you can see where I'm at. Instead of me saying all the time, hey, everybody, we're way behind. You can just see it on the screen. Thanks, American Lady. You got it down to 9:12 left on Robin's Super Freak.
Great show, great time. Let's end with a laugh.
Oh, thank you. I did. I laughed right there. Did you see that? Well, thanks, Revengeance. I really want to play that rap. That's how you get a laugh. The first case we were just going, remember that video I sent you of the you know, the sex offender that killed all seven, him and 6 other people. They walk through inside the house. We just kind of went over that. How absolutely pathetic the Okmulgee Sheriff's Department is in that case. Or whoever agency that is. It was so just disgusting. Oh, one thing I do want to talk about is, remember how I was telling you guys about how there's people out there that are talking about the Delphi case and how Abby, now they're saying that the picture of Abby on the bridge is fake. They're also saying that the video was edited, and now it's 6 or 7 YouTube channels talking about it. Now there's this guy, he says he used to be like a detective or some shit like that, looks kind of like Clint Eastwood, and now he's selling people that shit. It's just really disgusting behavior, and you know, I even commented under them, and it was cool because I got support from people for once. I said, this is absolute garbage, and 4 or 5 people said, yeah, this really is, you know, because it's true. It's stupid. What are these people doing? Well, I talked to this guy, he's a Photoshop expert, and he said it doesn't look real to him. And the image he has on the screen is one of the most jacked up, blurry versions of the Abby image I've ever seen. I've got the really clear ones. That is Abby on the bridge. Nobody Photoshopped her in there. What would the point of that be? And also, they said, one of the idiots out there was talking about how the bridge guy is Photoshopped in on that image. Well, it's a video, you fool. It's an actual video they released. It had 57 or 8 frames in it. It's not a image. It's actually a still frame from a video. So you're saying that, and they go, oh, it was edited. They cropped out, what did they say? That it was Photoshopped because they took Abby out. No, that's not, when let me ask you guys something. When somebody says something is Photoshopped, what do they mean when they say that? Go ahead. Oh, that's Photoshop, man. What do you think they mean when that's said? I just typed something in. Anybody? Yeah, faked. Somebody typed. Yeah. But that's not what they did. They cropped out Abby. So they made it smaller and they got rid of people. But the video itself is exactly the same. When I say people, oh, do you hear Gray said people? There's more than one baby. No, it was Abby, okay? They just cropped her out of the damn thing. They didn't want her in there. That's why her blue jacket kind of comes into the shot one time. Okay? It's simple to do. It has nothing to do with editing in a way that's deceptive. All it did was remove Abby from the video. These people are clowns. They say, hey, there's something that just doesn't add up on the time. There's something weird about the timing of things. I went there. Things don't make sense. No, it makes all the sense in the world, everybody. Every single element that we know about, the image taken at 2:07 and then the video starting at 2:13, absolutely makes sense. Okay, now if they ran across the bridge, it just means that they got there earlier, but they didn't because Abby was still on the bridge, and that's because Abby was never been on the bridge before and was really slow, and Libby made it all the way to the end, and Abby's still coming, and the guy was catching up to them at that point. It all makes complete sense unless you're a wacko and you're just trying to be part of the cool kids who are all the conspiracy nut job YouTube people and viewers of the Delphi case. It's sick, man. It makes me want to just vomit right on the screen. It's so sick. That's unreal, man. Unreal. So I think I'm going to make a debunking video, but it's just going to be more like how I just said it. I'm not going to be pumping names or anything like that. I'm just going to put out a true video on the same shit. Okay. So here we go. We've got the I want to say thank you to Eugenie right out of the gate there. Then Kit Kat, Scouting Dude. Let's see. I think did I get everybody tonight? I don't remember. I was trying. I'm going to have to do the spin a different, like tomorrow or something. Let me see. Yeah, I wasn't keeping up with it. So I'll just thank everybody, and we'll do the spin at the beginning tomorrow. So Scouting Dude, Lisa Murphy, then Scouting Dude with a cat eye, Paul Ayers, then Kathy Chapin with a cat eye, then Capokino, Michelle, Danielle, Dan Keith, Karen Van Patten, then Cindy J won she snuck in there with the win on the Super Freak. And then Robin, Scouting Dude, Annie laid her hair down D, Scouting Dude, Kathy Chapin, WNC Granny, Shelley Pink, Cami Nielsen, WNC Granny, Bama Forever with a cat eye, then Annie laid her hair down D, Robin, Traveling Teresa, Adniram, then Bama Forever with another cat eye. Thank you so much. Awesome. EI Rule. Then Kelly Snyder with a taco dance cat eye. Eugenie, Danielle, Love and Livin'. Then Cali Gal 3 with a cat eye. Then Mary Crossley, Gladys Kravitz, Piece of Me Forever, Robin, Matthew Ludovico, and American Lady. So thank you guys. Really appreciate it. And sometime tomorrow, probably, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning or so, maybe I'll start up on the day 16 of more pornography with Jodi Arias on the stand. Well, it's, yeah, I mean, it's just, you know what's weird about it, though, Zozo, is it's becoming sort of a disease where everybody wants to be cool, so they're all joining in. So now there's literally like 8 of them. This guy did a 3-hour stream on it because he's just, and it was all gibberish nonsense. And they're all quoting each other. It's so hilarious. You know, well, so-and-so's saying it, therefore, and they're all quoting each other. There's like these circle jerks of 8 people. It's ridiculous, okay? Oh, yeah, he said it, so it must be right. Oh, yeah, did you hear what's his face said? Yeah, he said it, and this guy said it, and this guy said it. Oh, and he said it, so therefore, oh, yeah. Sick, all right? I don't know. I wish you guys were aware of what I'm seeing. It's just so... And the sad part is whenever you go in there and you criticize it, the mountain of absolute morons come running in right after to cut you down like you don't know what you're talking about. Not that Nikki. Yeah, but it doesn't really give you clout. It gives you clout with idiots. I mean, you got hundreds, I would say thousands of morons who follow conspiracy theory. They're like junkies of conspiracy theories. So it's always, wow, this is so interesting comments. And it's not. Well, who are you to say, Gray, if it's interesting or not? Gee. That's right. That's exactly right, Jessica. That's what they do. So, all right, you guys. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And, yeah. Hope you guys like like I said, the show goal, the Super Freak. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? So, as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. And also, thank you very much for all your generosity and getting us over the goal. That was very cool. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, flag rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. I'm gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Pathetic way is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fooled up,
Sounds pretty good.
And
I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his spectre with all respect, just remember I got to look for injection. I have no agenda, I never tender.
And I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody?
All right, everybody. Gee.
That was a bit early there, Mary Lou. I just wanted to say thanks again, everybody. Really appreciate you guys. And, you know, guys is for anybody, right? You get it, right? I want to be called a gal, Gray. Okay, thank you very much, guys and gals. I really... Well, I don't even call myself a gal. I'm a thee or a... Okay, thank you, everybody. Well, I don't want to be an everybody. I want to... Okay, shut the hell up. All right. So thanks. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And be safe out there.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
Oh, yeah, I need the... You're saying me to do the huh? Yeah, hold on. Where is that thing?
Huh?
There you go, Terry. There you go.
Huh? It's the house!
And be safe out there. What? Oh, and be safe out there.